Grapsody with Will, Phil, and Reg, trying to keep it real instead of what you usually get from these talking heads. It's Grapsody, we're here to fill the void. 3 black fans, different perspective, got to fill your voice. Coming with the podcast, talking majors, indies in between. Yeah, it's all that, and we're down with Fightful, better fall back. Coming for respect, we connect like a ball bat. No need to double check, these are all facts. You're listening to us talk raps. You're listening to us talk raps. Will, Phil, and Reg. Yeah, we're Grapsody, here to talk raps. Yeah, we're Grapsody, here to talk raps.
Wonderful. Good morning. This is Grapsody. If you can't tell, of course, Mike asked Grapsody when we started with technical difficulties. So here we are. I'm Phil Lindsay. Of course, I'm here with my co-host, Righteous Reg. Reg is laughing because I'm sure he could see me like in the screen when I was just looking at the screen where the Grapsody thing was still up, and I was just like, you gotta be kidding me. But whatever.
In the building, it's your boy Media Man, your favorite rapper, your favorite writer, your favorite podcaster. Saturday morning, Grapsody podcast. Your boys are in the building. We got a lot to discuss. Philip Lindsay's frustrated coming into this podcast, and I'm having a good laugh about it. That's how we start these Saturdays. That's how friendship work, and that's how everything is. Besides your Wi-Fi issues, Philip Lindsay, how has your week been here, my friend?
I thought weekend ended up being pretty good. Like, got to spend the Thanksgiving holiday with my family. Got to see some friends, either from at Dynamite or Survivor Series. It was cool. It's cool to see a lot of people. Got a good pay-per-view on Saturday night. Got some unexpected happenings, but yeah, it was cool. How about you?
As far as going to both shows, do you see? I know you're not really looking at it, but do you see like crossover as far as like people that are at both shows?
Yeah. Chicago's a wrestling town, so there are
probably see a lot of the same people at the shows.
Yeah, you see a lot of same faces at shows sometimes. It's I will say that this was the first time, I guess, being at AEW and a WWE event in the same week and just seeing like the energy of the crowd, and it was interesting. I have a few takeaways from it.
I bet, yeah, very interesting stuff that went on. But I had a good Thanksgiving, had a good bunch of travel days of just driving, good stuff. Back in Oakland, back into regular life. Feels good to just get in your own bed and lay down after being elsewhere in other places. So yeah, been feeling good. A lot of wrestling news, too much wrestling news at this point, Phil. Every time I come online, there's something new. There's some dumb dirt sheet thing. There's some people arguing on Twitter. It's too much at this point.
Yeah, you've got new stuff coming out here and there, and you have people that are purveyors of news, whether that be Sean Ross Sapp, Dave Meltzer, Mike Johnson from PW Insider, whoever it is. And for whatever reason, you have fans, because fans don't know how to stay in their lane. They think they know everything. And they think they know how to do what Sean does. They think they know how to do what Dave does. And so you have to keep hearing, oh, man, is this what journalism is? Did you vet this or blah, blah, blah? You got to go through this back and forth with people online that I've seen. It's just like, guys, A, this stuff isn't that serious. Like, and then B, just watch the show. I don't know, man. Like, stop trying to be a booker. Stop trying to be a reporter. Stop trying to be a wrestler. Stop telling everybody how to do their jobs. Just watch the show.
It's crazy. It's crazy because I've seen so many people this week being like, Tony Khan needs to stop listening to so many people, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, well, is he supposed to listen to you? Like, where do you draw the line if we're talking about lines and what people are supposed to stop doing? It's been people telling somebody like Dave Meltzer, who's been doing this for like 40 plus years, like, have you do your due diligence in making this story? So, yes, he did. He's been doing this for 40 years. He's been through all the steps. He never leaks anything or talks about anything that's not been through like 5 different people. If those 5 different people bullshit him, that's kind of just how it happens. But most of the time, it's on the up and up. So it's just funny to kind of see that Sean Ross Sapp has been getting a lot of flack.
Yeah.
I've been catching up on his little Ice Cube Jr. stuff, and it's been wild. Before we get before we move forward, shout out to Sean Ross Sapp, who has a big match today against Shazza McKenzie. Shaz is about to drag that boy, Phil. It's crazy.
Yep. I don't know, man. Seems like he's probably gonna take ass kicking tonight. But you know, sometimes
a lot of people are very excited about that.
Yeah, some people are. Some people are like, "What is Dirt Sheik guy doing in the ring?"
Yeah.
It is what it is. You know, at this point, Sean is Sean, and you know he has become a polarizing figure to some people.
Mhm.
Absolutely, pile driver finisher. Fantasy booking is fun, but I think it's also to a point that with the fantasy booking and with the speculating and all that stuff is fun as fans. But I do think people get too wrapped up in that and they think that they can actually do what bookers do.
Exactly.
And no, you can't. You don't get paid to do that. So let's just calm down. Everybody relax.
Yeah, fantasy booking. We love fantasy booking. We fantasy book on this show all the time. But what these people doing is not that. They're like, Tony Khan, if you don't do this, I'm gonna blah blah. It's like a different step of fantasy booking into thinking I would be better than the actual booker. We don't come on this show and be like, they should give us the AEW book and the WWE book because we'd be better than them. We're just like, this is what we would do in this situation, or this is what we would like to happen in the future and stuff. It's the lines are super blurred now with social media, and there are some other people that randomly get scoops. So things are so mixed up onto who's who and stuff. So it's rough out here.
It is. I mean, there's internet culture there's internet culture all around right now that everybody feels like they can do everything. We're in a big DIY culture, and we're very much in, you know, everybody knows how a lot of sausages are made. So it's just like, I can do this too.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. I just think that, you know, you should also let people do their jobs. It's fine. It's fine.
That sounds like a lot. That's definitely not going to happen. But we're just encouraging people to. We're just encouraging. That's the way to do it.
Yeah, and I know how it looks. I can't say certain things on behalf of the guy because then it looks like, oh, you guys are fightful employees. You're, you know, kissing your boss's ass. No, I think it's weird that people are jumping on the guy about 2 reports where he was correct and 2 reports where somebody in the industry confirmed that he's correct. That was the funniest thing about all of this. They were jumping on him about the Punk report, and Triple H basically confirmed his report in the press conference. So he was correct about that. And then they were jumping on him about the Bryan report, and Bryan outright said in the interview, this is true. He was right both times, and somehow people are still like, you're wrong. How? How, Sway? How?
Yeah. I don't get it. Yeah, he turned that into gotcha. I'm like, how did you? I don't understand what the gotcha is. I'm still very confused.
Okay, so we'll explain this before we get into anything, because I don't want this to look like we're on here ranting and raving about nothing. If you are not on the Twitter machines, one O'Shea Jackson Jr., son of Ice Cube, played him in Straight Outta Compton. He's done a bunch of other acting things. He was in an Obi-Wan show. Shout out to O'Shea Jackson. Like O'Shea Jackson Jr. a lot. For whatever reason, he has been doing his back and forth with people as a CM Punk fan, because of course, if you're a CM Punk fan, you end up going back and forth with people on the internet. It's part of our credo, I think. It's like written in the bylaws or something like that. But so he's been going back and forth with other fans throughout the week about CM Punk. And earlier this week, a report came out from one Sean Ross Sapp on Fightful Select that Bryan was a part of the advisory committee that advised that Punk be fired. And because of that, some people took it upon themselves to go, why now? What is the timing of this? I saw somebody tweet that. I think it was Jeff. Jeff's been on this podcast. I think it was Jeff that tweeted it. And then O'Shea continued that by going, yeah, I'm saying, what is the timing of this? Because, they told us they didn't want to answer any questions about it and they didn't want to leak any other information. But then when the guy gets hired somewhere else, then all of a sudden this report comes out about Brian being a part of his firing. Do I think the timing is interesting? A little bit. But Sean also explained that the timing was that Brian tweeted verbatim what he said in the talent meeting after Punk was fired. And so that kind of sparked him putting some things together and putting the report out. Now, if you look at the actual report, there are a lot of things in the report. It talks about, how he headed up the initiative from the committee and spoke to the talent in the locker room. He was the guy that made the announcement in the locker room after it was decided to fire Punk. And so, yeah, he had this back and forth with Sean. I think Matt Coon was involved in it somehow. And, it's Twitter. So people kind of get, tense about, something that's just a misunderstanding. Whatever, I guess, O'Shea was still tweeting some stuff the next day that he was annoyed about it. And that turned into, see, man, look at this here. Because the Brian did an interview. I'm sorry, I don't have the outlet in front of me that he did the interview with. But he did an interview, and
I think it was a CBS affiliate or something like that.
Yeah, I think it was CBS Sports affiliate. I'm sorry that not prepared to give the answer of where the interview was. But I thought the interviews asked a great question, and I thought they broached the question perfectly. And I thought Brian gave a great answer.
Right.
He said that, yes, it's true. I was a part of the advisory committee, and he gave, what he thought about it. Yeah, I thought it was great. I thought it was great. And essentially, I felt like this was kind of done with because, again, he said that what Sean reported was true. So out of this, he made a joke that, some people were saying like I was the head of the committee. I wasn't the head of committee. And it's just Brian being Brian and being funny. And I thought all this stuff was funny. For some reason, O'Shea and other people have isolated that part of the clip where he says he wasn't the head of the committee, and have taken that part of the Fightful Select article where it says he essentially headed up the committee, and the headline of it where it says headed up, and he circled both of those and said, see, acknowledge me. And he's going on this tirade and like posting Roman clips, and I was just like, I don't think this is the flex you think it is, buddy, because Sean's report is still correct. I don't know why you're trying to grasp at this little bit of it that you think makes you right, but it doesn't. And it doesn't even go back to your initial point, because your initial point had nothing to do with whether or not he headed up the committee. Your initial point was about the timing. So what are we acknowledging you on? What are you right about? You're not right about this, sir. You're just, at this point, grasping at straws to try and make it look like you had a point. And you didn't. I'm sorry, but you didn't. And I hope this doesn't sound away. I don't have a problem with O'Shea. Again, like his work, like him, like his Twitter and whatever. But this whole situation, I was just like, what are you doing? And so, of course, I took the actual screenshot of the actual report. And in the report, it says Brian was involved. Key word. He was involved. He was a part of the decision making as far as advising to fire Punk based off the evidence, whether that be what was in the video and experiences backstage with him. He was speaking on behalf of the locker room as the only wrestler on the committee with a bunch of lawyers. He also confirmed that in the clip where the interviewers asked him about it. So I was just like, what are we doing? And that turned into people going, yeah, but let's not play the semantic game. You know what you meant when you said headed up. I'm like, yeah, but at the end of the day, it's an advisory committee. They advised Tony Khan to fire Punk, and Tony Khan made the call. I saw people try to say that it made it look like Brian made the final call. No, he didn't. Tony Khan made the call based off what the advisory committee told him. That's it. It's over, guys. I know that people still want to make all these conspiracies up, and this makes this person look bad. Listen, it's over. He got fired with cause. He's not there no more. He's over there at the feds. It's over. It's over. Let it go. Let it go, guys. It's time. I as a CM Punk fan, as a wrestling fan, I implore you, move on.
Mm-hmm.
Our guy got on TV and told you that he's ready to move on. Do the same thing.
We saw him debut in a whole brand new company, bro. I think we should like, yeah, the stuff is interesting, but that's how stories work, man. If this same story would have came out in a year, people would have been like, well, why after a year do you blah, blah, blah? It's never the right time.
It
never
wouldn't
anything.
have mattered when the report came out. Personally, I didn't need to know that Brian was a part of the committee. I mean, I already knew, but we didn't need to know. I feel like the public at large didn't need to know. Because, as we know, wrestling fans don't know what to do with this kind of information, because then they start adding all of these things to it that don't need to be there. They start adding opinions to things that don't need to be there. I saw people trying to make it seem like this makes Brian look like a snake, blah, 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 blah. No, it doesn't. He did what he felt was right for his company. That doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if they're friends or not. This is a business thing. It ain't personal. And I would wager that those two guys are probably still friends. I don't think that this changes that at all. I think this was a business decision.
Yeah, that's the part that the reason that I don't want these people, though I didn't want anybody to know, it's like the greatest wrestler of our generation is caught up in some bullshit. We're talking about Bryan Danielson, and we're not saying he just had an amazing match, or he's about to have an amazing match, or he's about to have this classic match with Okada at Wrestle Kingdom. We're talking about some backstage drama that we're getting bits and pieces of, about a story from months ago that doesn't even matter now. What's going on here? This is Bryan Danielson. He shouldn't have to come on Twitter and be like, let me clear my name. Let me blah, blah, blah. This is insane.
Yeah, and that's the entire point. To your point, this is Bryan Danielson. He hasn't had anything to do with backstage drama. And that's why he was chosen as an unbiased party to speak on behalf of the locker room, because he hasn't been in the middle of this drama. That's why he was chosen to give his advice on this situation. I don't know why people are missing that part of it. It has nothing to do with them being friends. It has nothing to do with Brian stepping forward and going, I got the knife right here. Let's stab him in the back. No.
Why doesn't he have a degree in human resources? He doesn't. I'm like, well, that's not what this is. They need someone to represent the wrestlers. And who represents the wrestlers better than the greatest wrestler of our generation, who most of these people look up to, Bryan Danielson? If somebody gives me some news that we need regarding the locker room, and he's going to stand next to Tony Khan or whatever happened in the situation, however he gave the news, I'm going to hear from Bryan Danielson, because just like you said, Phil, he's not hearing bullshit. He's not at a biased party trying to blah, blah, blah. He's just talking for the locker room because he's Bryan Danielson.
Absolutely. I see a comment in our chat that says, don't think they're friends anymore, from Capone W. Says, don't think they're friends anymore, my guy. Would you be friends with someone who'd affected your life?
That's not what this was.
I will say a person that speaks to Punk and Ibu from Wrestle Purist also tweeted while this was happening that he's not upset with Brian. And I believe that. I don't think that Punk took it personally. And if he did, that's between them. That's not our business. But I would assume that he didn't. Why would he?
This wasn't what this is. I don't think it happened and Punk got back to where he was and was like, Bryan Danielson, you're going to pay for this. Like, no, this Bryan Danielson is just like, he's just like the messenger in this whole thing. He wasn't like, he didn't get out of there and think, man, Bryan Danielson really screwed me out of this.
I just don't think this is what people think it is. Like, it's some big, like, telenovela thing where Brian decided, like, oh, I'm going to get this guy, dun, dun, dun. And then it rolled into all of this stuff. No, they decided that he was an unbiased party. He spoke on behalf of the wrestlers, and that's it. He's taken on a leadership role in the locker room, and so he was picked as the guy.
Because, of course.
Yeah, he was picked as the guy to give some advice here, and that was it. I don't think it was anything personal about it.
that's I guess where we can land with it. It's Bryan Danielson, you guys. Like, it's not like it's rocket science. It's like, okay, who's gonna represent the locker? Bryan Danielson is, and that's what
it.
happened, and that's what it is. CM Punk is in a whole nother company now, getting a big check, I'm sure, and having a time. I don't want to say the time of his life, but he's having a time so far.
It'll be fine, guys. I just think that people are overreacting a little bit. And I know that it's CM Punk, and anytime there's anything involving CM Punk, conversations get very tense, whether it be online, whether it be among friends. He's just that kind of guy that he elicits that kind of emotion. So conversations get very tense when it comes to him because people, I don't know, either you love this guy or you hate him. And so this happens all the time. And then, of course, because of, what Punk means to a lot of fans, whether that be, the WWE exit, the podcast stuff, people come up with all these conspiracies of how, they're trying to pull him down. They're trying to set him up. They're trying to make him look bad. And there may be some of that. But I implore you guys, again, move on. Yeah. Just move on.
Like, this isn't a blow. That's what I kind of got out of it that I thought was most funny is like, this doesn't even really make Punk look bad. I'm like, that, like, out of this story, I wasn't like, really. I'm like, there's other people that look kind of crazy in the situation if you want to say who looks crazy, but nobody really looks crazy. I think people are just kind of overreacting of the whole thing. But like, I don't think this was like, we're going to shame him on his way out. It's like, no, they're just kind of explaining the story that people thought that they knew already and just were being clarified. But people don't care about clarification. They care about what they care about. It's crazy.
Listen, man. I won't acknowledge this comment that I just saw, but again, this isn't about me defending SRS. It's just the fact of the matter. This is what happened. He reported something. This is what happened. I don't know. And if you want to come in here to let us know that you don't like Sean or that you think that, we're riding this jock or whatever, cool, you do you, buddy. I got a podcast to record. I ain't worried about that.
I don't care. Don't care about none of that. Let's get into a couple super chats before we move forward. Kind of on the situation, I guess, man. Twin Blade says, I do not care about the Pepsi man. Hashtag over it. Yeah, just kind of like what Phil's saying. I think there's gonna be extremes on both sides, as there always is.
Always is
with CM Punk. You know what I mean? Like the we're pro Punk side is like they think and talk like him. They're paranoid about stuff. They think everybody's trying to bring him down. And the other side is like, here he goes again. Of course, this stuff is happening. Here's drama attached to him. It's just all really funny.
Not that serious, guys. It really isn't.
It's not. Chris says, we all know Punk's the biggest hypocrite ever in wrestling, and everything said opening promo in AEW was a lie.
Maybe we'll get into it. I hate to break it to you guys. It's a lot of stuff that's said in a lot of promos is lies.
I just saw a clip this morning of Fat Joe, world famous rapper, on a talk show saying that he lies in 95% of his raps. He said, I'm a family man. He said, I do these raps for a living. And he said, that's just how I was feeling that day. And I'm like, that's the game.
Listen, man, get your lies off, man. Some of the best rappers that I know of are liars, man. A lot of the stuff they be rapping are lies.
That's a lie.
Get your lies off, bro.
Like confirmed lies too, and they don't care. They're going to continue to get them lies off.
Yeah. I've said about Ether a lot of times. It's considered one of the best diss tracks ever. There's a bunch of lies in there.
Filled with lies, Phil.
A bunch of lies
filled with them. But like those lies are like Eminem murdered you on your own shit. Like these things have became a thing off of like lies, but it's like, all right, it's Ether though. He fried him. It is what it is.
He's cooking. He's getting them lies off, bro.
Chris also says, wish we got women's stories in AEW like Billie and Athena in ROH.
100%. I agree.
Yeah, we're going to get more into that and very soon. Deontay Soignier says, just got my tickets for AEW and NOLA. All Elite once again. Always blessed to see wrestling live. What's up, boys? Stardom, New Japan Pro Wrestling, TJPW, and ROH are fun. Reg doesn't know certain websites. All love, y'all. No, I don't. They still been trying to get me, Deontay. They still been trying to lock me down. Kate tried to get me locked in the Ring of Honor show. I just like I don't get down like that. That's not my cup of tea. If I was a freak show about that, I'd be about that. I understand, Phil. That's all I'm saying.
Not my
But
cup of
also,
tea.
I don't understand. I'm like, what is the fascinate? Are you?
It was some wild energy out here this week, buddy.
Are you a connoisseur, Phil, of feet?
What? No, no. I think that's where that question was going, but no, no,
Not a fan, huh?
no, sir. Not that guy.
Our friend Will Chisholm says, Phil, what was your reactions when punk music hit and then Seth's reaction fooling people with that work? This is a great thing to transition to because Phil, you were not in your seat in the stands when Phil CM Punk re-debuted back in WWE. Tell us a little bit about that.
Listen, man. We're not off to a strong start with this beginning of my guy being over there, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was in attendance, of course, and for whatever reason, they escorted us out of our seats after the final match. Which is usual media protocol. They escorted us to the press room, and cool. Walked into the press room with a bunch of people that I knew, a bunch of people in our row that I knew. I was sitting next to Alex from Queen of the Ring. Shout out to Alex.
Shout out to Alex.
Homie Wilkins was in our row. Chris Van Fleet. Steve Fall was there. A bunch of other people I knew.
Loaded up.
Iridian was there. Homie Brian Waters, who's been on this pod, is in front of us. Queen PR, bunch of people I knew. So we all are heading into the press room, and all of a sudden, like you can just hear like all of this commotion. You can hear cult of personality. And I was like, wait a minute, what's going on? And somebody was like, Punk is here, and I was like, nah, not here. And so I'm looking at the screen next to us.
He's here.
And I was like, oh, he's here. And I'm just like, why are we in here then? What's happening? Why'd they do this to me? Why'd they do
It felt personal. When you said it in the group chat, I'm like, was this personal?
I was so confused. I was just like, okay. But yeah, I did not get to see Punk's return in person. I watched it later on my laptop, but I didn't get to see it in person, unfortunately.
That is, yeah, like I said, it felt personal. I'm like, how did this happen? But like, yeah, that's protocol. It's happened when we do the AEW scrums. They're like pretty much when the bell rings on the last match, we're going to meet blah, blah, blah in this section. Everybody heads, or even before that, some people start heading that way just because you want to try to beat whatever foot traffic or whatever to the press room. So you could miss situations like that. But this just seems super wild for you to be in Chicago waiting for it. You just said this moment wasn't going to happen at this show, but then for it to happen and for you to not be out there to feel it, it's just like
in the city of Chicago. Was not there to see it.
The homie represented though, the Chicago homie.
Listen, man. Well, I don't know if you want. Let's just get into Survivor Series, and then we'll get into the Punk return. I thought Survivor Series was a pretty good show. What did you think overall?
These War Games matches. That's where I'm going to start. The issue is say you watch if you're like, okay, I've never seen a War Games match. I'm going to go through Peacock and watch all the greatest War Games matches of all time. You watch 92, you watch 94, all these great matches. You see blood, crazy, heated feuds. Really, like most of these, somebody did like a list of like the match times of them. And most the longest War Games of like the past was like 25 minutes. And WWE War Games matches are like 45, 50 minutes, like double what it used to be. It feels like them reiterating that the match hasn't started yet is like a weird concept. Like I know that's the war game concept, but them being like, nope, can't pin them because the match hasn't started yet. It feels weird. And so it feels like there's a lot of downtime. And so they're setting up a lot and it doesn't, I don't know, maybe they burned out on the men's one. Maybe they burned out the feud because it was like, none of this, I didn't care. Like, I guess if you care about Randy Orton, that like hit, but I was like, I do not care at all. The women were doing some fun stuff, but I just think like as a concept, it's become like Hell in the Cell. Like Hell in the Cell used to be like this blood thing, but now it's just like it's October, we need Hell in the Cell. It's November, we need War Games, and like these type of matches need to be like blood feud enders, and this just felt like it's November, we're having War Games.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. I've just grown to accept WWE War Games matches for what they are. You're gonna get like the big overproduced matches with like the spots. You're not gonna get any like real violence. You're not gonna get any blood. It's gonna be all very safe and polished, and that's just what WWE War Games matches are at this point. And so I've just grown to accept that it's not really what I would like War Games matches to be, but that's just what it is.
Like change the name. This ain't War Games. This ain't war. This is like we're having a good play in here. This is play games.
Yeah, but I thought it started good. I thought the women's War Games match was probably match of the night for me.
Yeah.
I thought the women killed it. I thought they all did really well. This was
Bayley.
probably the best Bayley performance in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Easily the MVP of her team, which makes everything that happened in the match so sad.
Yep.
I thought Bianca was great. Shotzi was tremendous in this. She got a lot of big spots in it. This is really the best use of her because she gets to do the big reckless spots. Probably not as reckless as some stuff I've seen her do as an indie wrestler, but this felt like more of the energy that I know of Shotzi for. I thought all of the stuff with Becky and Charlotte was very good. It felt real, like when they finally hugged it out. It got a really good reaction from the crowd. Kyrie being Kyrie, all of that stuff was great. Her doing a spinning back fist with the guitar lids looked awesome. Sorry, guitar lid, garbage can lid. EO doing the big garbage can spot again also looked great. I thought the women killed it. I thought that their match was the best match of the night by far. And I think it's a shame that people haven't been talking about that match as much as they should be because I really felt like they knocked it out the park.
Yeah, in contrast to what the men did, I thought the women were working extremely hard. Bayley, I watched a lot of SmackDown last night. She has been on another run. Like she keeps, I don't know what they think about Bayley, but she's the opposite of what they think about her. Like I don't know if they think she's washed or she's past her prime or whatever she's doing, but she's not. Like she still has so much left in her. Like in 20 years, we're still gonna be like, oh, Bayley's killing it. Like the role that she played in that War Games match, being like the glue that's holding this whole match together. When you have Becky and and Charlotte also in there, it's like, wow, it's kind of crazy considering even on Bayley's team, you got, veteran Asuka and veteran EO and veteran Kyrie, that like these are all veteran wrestlers, but Bailey's still the glue that's holding this together. She has been tremendous in her role. I love the Japanese women being like, she can't come every time like she tries to come somewhere, and Dakota has to be like, they don't really want you to come, Bayley. Bailey's just like, yo, what's going on here? I'm just trying to help. This is my group. What's going on? I'm loving everything that's happening with that. But I thought that was definitely the super stronger War Games match.
Yeah, you're seeing the change of Damage Control and how they're evolving, and you can see how it's slowly moving on from Bayley, and Bayley is trying to hold on. I mean, even them coming out with the Oscar mask, it just feels like they're moving in a different direction. When they did the big drop kicks out of the corner spot, it just feels like, hey, those guys are all like, they're clicking. They all have chemistry, and Bayley is just trying to fit in, and it's just not working. She did a few saves in this match that were awesome. She saved Kyrie from taking that spear, and then unfortunately, the baby faces annihilated Bayley, put her through a table. Bayley ate the pin. Damage Control lost. I thought story-wise, it made perfect sense to do it this way for Damage Control to lose that way and Bayley to be the one to take the pin. So it looks like Bayley is the weak link on the team. even though she's not. She was the MVP of this match, in my opinion. Um, yeah, poor Bailey. It's coming, and I feel bad. But I think the other great thing about this is you're supposed to feel bad for Bailey. All of the stuff they built out of this match. I think the babyface turn is coming,
Sympathy.
and people are going to cheer for her.
You know, Phil, there's telling a lot of stories with this match specifically. And the other day, somebody connected to Bailey posted a video, and we were all excited about this video. And you know who was extra excited about this video? Bailey was, because it's looking like Bailey's going to be needing some help here soon, I'm thinking, right? And like, who better to come help than one Mercedes Moné, who would probably be back to being Sasha's Banks. What are you thinking, Phil? Because I don't, after that match, and I'm like, what are they setting up here? And I'm like, what other could they be setting up? What else could they be setting up in this situation here?
I don't know. It does feel like if this is the time to bring back Sasha, this is the perfect time. Like with all the stuff they're doing with Bailey, I don't know.
My only issue is with the Mercedes going back there is like, it just doesn't feel that fresh to me. Like she's going back to be friends with Bailey again. She's going back to like feud with a bunch of people she's already feuded with. And I'm like, I wanted to see more, but I understand if that's the big show, man. Sasha Banks is she's trying to be the biggest wrestler there is and main event WrestleMania and stuff. And so I would understand if she did do that, you know?
Yeah,
Unfortunately.
I mean, it does play into their feud, and it does play into the other stuff that happened in this match where Charlotte and Becky did, make amends, and for the first time in a long time, none of the four horsewomen have been getting along. They're officially split up. There are only three horsewomen in WWE right now, so it does make sense to build to this story of Bailey and Sasha making up and possibly getting the four horsewomen back in a big way. I can see it happening. I don't know.
Get that match that everybody says we should have gotten a long time ago at WrestleMania with the four horsewomen.
Yeah. Do you think this is leading to four horsewomen versus Damage Control when Dakota Kai is ready to wrestle?
I didn't really think about that, but that's money making match right there. That's like the history of the women's evolution and everything that's been represented since like 2016. I think WWE wants that match real bad. That's a great WrestleMania match if that's where we're going.
Yeah, even if it's not a WrestleMania match, that's a big match you can put on any card later next year, whether it be Elimination Chamber or something else. I don't know. Of course, it's Mercedes, and I'm supporting wherever she goes. I would like to see her do some more stuff outside of WWE because I feel like she had just started getting cooking, and then it got cut short. But like I said, wherever she goes, I'm supporting.
Yeah, straight up. What about the rest of the stuff? How was Gunther and Miz live?
Gunther and Miz was about as good as you'd expect it to be.
Right.
I thought out of this matchup, they got some really good falsies for Miz. I didn't bite on any of them because I was like, Miz ain't winning this match. Gunther is going to beat this guy. But I liked all of the stuff that they did here. I thought when you're building this up as like the best IC champion from his era against the longest reigning IC champion in history, there was a good story going into this match. I liked all of the promos going into it. I thought the match itself was fine. The crowd was good for it. The crowd was great all night, but there were several times in this match where the crowd was trying to get up for Miz, and I was just sitting there like, I'm not in on this one, guys. You're on your own. We're Team Gunther. People started trying to start a USA chant. Somebody behind me started chanting Austria. And
It's getting wild out here.
But yeah, no. Gunther won this match with a Boston Crab, which is a nod to Chris Jericho, who some people consider to be the best Intercontinental Champion. I thought that was a great touch, a great way to finish this match. What did you think of this match? I thought that there were some good spots here.
I knew this was going to happen after this match. People are going to be like, look at the Miz. I told you. It's like, I could do that with Gunther. Let's all slow down here. It's just Gunther kind of continuing the year that he's been having. Trajectory is him beating your boy, I feel, at WrestleMania, but I don't know, things might have changed. I'm actually kind of confused at what's going to go on at WrestleMania with your boy showing back up. But yeah, I think Gunther's just kind of continuing what he's doing. Kind of felt like a Raw match to me, I guess, at this point. He's in that phase of like, he does it no matter what, that there's like like Miz is going to give you like, this was a great Raw main event and not like a great pay-per-view match for me. At least.
Yeah, I can see that. I enjoyed it, but I can see you saying it was like a television match.
It's your boy. What else happened on this show? Oh, Rhea finally had a women's title match. I was questioning last week if she should have been a part of the War Games match, but now seeing that everything that happened in the match, her having this match with Zoe Starks was definitely the move. How do you feel about Zoe Starks at this position, with how she's been on the main roster so far?
I think they're doing a good job of like making her feel like somebody that can be next up. I thought she performed well in this match. I unfortunately think this was the weakest match on this card, not because it was a bad match, but I just think in comparison to the other matches, it didn't really do it for me. Rhea Ripley is a star. She got big star treatment coming out, got a big reaction coming out. Massive star. I just
waiting for that butt.
Whoa.
I mean, whoa. Okay. No, I heard it too. That's not what I was saying, but I did hear it too. I'm sorry, you guys. I heard it when it. All right.
Yeah. Got a little hot there. Yeah. But I thought Rhea looked like a massive star here. I'm just waiting for the pay-per-view matches to match the stature that she's at as a champion, man. Because I feel like a lot of pay-per-view matches have been, I don't know, like the build hasn't been that great. Like the matches themselves have been pretty like meh. So I'm just waiting for that big match for this run, and we just haven't gotten it yet.
How did you feel about her involvement in the War Games thing? Did you believe it for any second, or was it just like, I feel like they want her to, like, she has a bigger role as the manager or the leader of Judgment Day than she has as the women's champion. Like, I see what you were trying to do, but it's kind of taken away from her title run.
Yeah, I didn't believe it. But to your point, like I said, I think this was a good match. It's just we've seen matches like this from Rhea, and I'm just ready for her to kick it into that next gear because we've seen her do it. The Charlotte match is legitimately one of the best matches this year at WrestleMania, and I just want to see a match of that caliber with her as champion, and we just haven't gotten it yet.
Damn, that was this year. Yeah, that Charlotte match at WrestleMania, bang, that was one of the best matches of the whole weekend. Best matches of the year, men or women. So like, it's like, why aren't we getting that? Like, you built your stature up high. You're one of the, most over people in the whole company, men or women. But it's like, there should be more being added onto your championship legacy.
Yeah, I agree. Like I said, I like Rhea a lot. I think that she's doing great as champion. I think she is basically the de facto leader of Judgment Day. She's more over than she's ever been. I just want the matches, man. Give me the matches. Give me the big matches. Give us the big opponents. I hope they have something big for at Royal Rumble. It seems like we're leading to Shayna because they've been holding off on the Shayna match. And I think there's a lot you can do there with their history from NXT. So hopefully that's going to be the match we've been waiting for.
Yeah, I like that match at Royal Rumble, and I think that leading into WrestleMania, that's the most interesting thing to me because there's a couple ways you can go. We've talked on here about her wrestling against Becky. You could start the her and Bianca thing because that's just bubbling in the distance of like, this is a generational feud that they're sitting on. I don't know if they're going to wait longer, but you guys have this Bianca and Rhea thing that like people want. Or it could go another direction, then they could be like, oh, actually, we're going to do a multi-women match at the show. So it's going to be interesting to see what she does going into WrestleMania season.
Yeah. I still think the WrestleMania match is probably Becky, but
yeah,
we'll see. I thought this match was fine though. Man, I left my seat momentarily. And when I heard my man Santos' music hit, I had to come back in because I was like, nah. Can't miss Santos versus Dragon Lee. That was the match that I was looking forward to kind of the most out of this entire card. I knew that it was going to be better than people expected it to be. I thought it was very good, and it still felt like they had more that they could have done. There was more left in the tank here. But the atmosphere for this match made this match even more worth it. I thought that crowd ate this match up. They made both of these guys feel like big stars, and I knew they were going to because this is Chicago. Chicago likes lucha wrestling. We got a lot of the Spanish chants going during this. This was dope.
Yeah, Santos has been an MVP. I think coming into WWE, I expected that he was gonna cook, but he has like been on another level. On the same token, it feels like I knew Dragon Lee is an amazing, captivating talent, but I didn't think they were gonna really let him cook. But they've been really letting him cook, and it's kind of crazy because being paired up with Santos and doing this match, I did feel like they have more in the tank. This was like the appetizer for like what they're really gonna give up. But yeah, doing it in two Mexican wrestlers in Chicago is like, you know what time it is. They need a match like this. They need some lucha shit. I thought this was dope. I'm really excited about Santos Escobar. The stuff that he's been doing on SmackDown with Rey Mysterio. He's trying to take out the LWO one by one. Seeing the work that he did in Lucha Underground, knowing that he's going to. They have a couple of crossover Mexican stars, Phil. They've been waiting to have the next Rey Mysterio for legit 20 years at this point. And they got a couple of different options in both of these guys. I could see Santos being world champion one day, for real.
Yeah, I agree. I really like what they're doing with the LWO stuff. I like what they're doing with Santos. I like how they're building back to the Ray match. But yeah, this match was hot. We got some good reversals in it. We got some good spots. Dragon Lee is Dragon Lee, man. That guy is just
dynamic.
Guy's just fire. I mean, when you think about who Dragon Lee is, and like you said, when he came in, are they gonna let him be Dragon Lee? They kind of fast tracked this guy to the main roster. We don't see that often, and he's been great in all of the stuff they've been doing with him on the main roster. And man, Santos just starting to cook at the heel again. Loving it, man. I really enjoyed this match. But yeah, I think that's all of like the main like singles matches.
There was 5 matches.
Yeah, this match, this card flew by the way. This was a really quick card. The men's money in the bank, men's War Games match was good. I just expected a little bit more from it. I don't think it was as good as the women's match, but I still enjoyed it.
It felt like there was another gear they were gonna get kicked into. Like everybody was waiting for the Randy Orton thing, I thought the whole time, which kind of it's good because it built anticipation. He got a huge pop when he came out, but it was like everything was like bam, 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 bam when he got there, and it felt like they needed a little bit more time to develop things while he was out there. But like I said, I think a lot of the heat was kind of down because we've been seeing this feud for the last 3, 4, 5 months. So it took away from it for a little bit, but I think they executed what they needed to do. Do you think your boy coming out right afterwards took away from any of that moment?
I did feel like the finish of the match was a little abrupt. And I after Punk came out, I did consider maybe they had to rush into the finish because they were doing the CM Punk stuff at the end. I don't know. I thought the match itself, like I said, was fine for what it is. If nothing else, all of the entrances for the baby faces. If you had any doubt going into this match, and Cody kind of talked about this in the press conference of how we're in this era of hot baby faces again. Listen, man, when those guys came out one by one, all of their entrances were over, bro. Jay standing on top of the baby face's cage and doing bro. That optic in the crowd of everybody rocking with him, being a part of that and just seeing the energy for Jay. Yeah, that guy's hot right now. Seeing like Rollins come out and just the crowd singing along with him. Cody is insanely over at this point as well. Yeah, baby faces are hot right now. Orton's entrance got the reaction I thought it was. I thought they played it well. Sending Rhea out first with the briefcase and making us think they were really getting a cash in, and then giving us Orton coming in with the save. I thought that was a good way to do it. And you had throughout the match people going, "Is he coming?" Rollins was like, "Is your boy coming? Is he coming?" And of course, that is a kind of a nod to, is somebody else coming?
Mm-hmm.
And Orton ended up coming out later. I thought it was a good call to do that, not have him standing inside the cage with the rest of baby faces. They gave him his own entrance, and they made his return feel special.
Mm-hmm. This interesting point on the baby faces, because then I started thinking about the SmackDown side. I'm like, damn, LA Knight's over there. He's a huge over baby face. Yeah. Owens is over there. Zayn, like they got a strong amount of baby faces, and that's rare. Like I could think of times like there were some early 90s times and a couple in the late 90s of like, we got 4, 5, 6 strong, like could be world champion baby faces. But then there was a long time where it's like, we got 2, but now there's like 6 or 7 of them. And it's like, I never thought that they would get back to this point, because we're not really in a baby face era like that. But these are like, Cody is like a 1980s, 1990s baby face, white meat baby face, you know what I mean? And they're like, it's crazy to see that transition of like, I didn't know what was going to happen with Cody when he came in. We talked about it multiple times, but Phil, this guy is still so damn over. Like it's like the first time he came back, like he's still so over.
Still incredibly hot right now. You could put that belt on him tomorrow. He's ready.
Yes.
And my bad, I left Sammy out of the babyface entrances.
Yeah.
Sammy is still the most over he's been on the main roster, man.
Very over.
Yeah, telling you, that crowd for each of those entrances was rocking, man.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm telling you, this is what I alluded to earlier. Being at Dynamite and seeing the reaction for Swerve and like a bunch of stuff that happened at that Dynamite, I'm used to the energy at AEW shows being what it is. This is the first time I've ever been to a WWE show in Chicago, and I felt like they matched the energy AEW show. And
wow.
I won't say that I feel like this was like the quality of wrestling that AEW gives up, but I feel like the thing that AEW has kind of been their bread and butter since they started is the crowd reactions and just like the energy at their shows. The energy at Survivor Series was, man, it was different. You could tell WWE came to Chicago to make a statement. You could tell that they were here to make a point, because this is considered an AEW hub, and I don't think it's just bringing Punk in. I just think that with this show and everything, they're trying to show people like, nah, we're on a hot streak, and nah, we can come to Chicago and get these kind of reactions too. And man, it looked impressive. I have to give them their credit, man.
You know, over the history of this business, Phil, the greatest times in wrestling history, what makes a lot of those times is the sixth man of pro wrestling, and that's the crowd. And if you have the energy like this, that's gonna make every show even better. Like this show was really good, but then the crowd makes it an excellent show. That's like what they're gonna continue to experience. And like coming into having this kind of booming business, like some of the crowds were, I was like, I don't know, they're not really matching what the product is giving up. But now, after watching Survivor Series and seeing how that was happening, I was like, something is happening here. This is like, we're into another dimension right now.
You could definitely see a shift happening in terms of like the perception of both companies. Like I said, I thought this was a good show. I think if you compare it to Full Gear, like I think like a lot of wrestling was better on Full Gear, but I think in terms of like the energy and like the crowd reactions, like I feel like the crowd made this show much better than it actually was. And not to say that it was a bad show at all. I think it was a good show, but it just was a good night of wrestling. It was good we was not out there for Punk's return, but watching it, and I was just like, nah, this is we were outside, buddy. Like just the return and everything. I thought, like I said, I thought Randy's return worked really good. I thought the things in the men's war game match that were good was just like the spots they did with Rollins and Cody at one point where he brings the bull rope in, and that of course is a tie back to not just Dusty, but it's a tie back to the Hell in a Cell match from last year in Chicago. You had the spots where him and Rollins worked together. I thought that those were good. Of course, it made sense for Cody to be the guy to get the pin in his dad's match. I thought all of the return stuff with Orton doing basically the greatest hits, his team doing the DDT with him on the rope, him getting the big RKO spot out of the corner with JD getting dropped from the top of the cage. I thought that was also good. Yeah, I thought it was a solid show.
Yeah, as far as WWE lore, moments, viral things, this was like 10 out of 10 WWE show. Like, this is how you execute that. Like, at the end of the night, the crowd being in a frenzy, leaving your show, like that's how you want to book a wrestling show. You want at the end of the night, everybody to be talking about it. There be a buzz still in the air, and that's what this show felt like. It's like, good for them, man. Like they've, we know how I feel about things, and they've been ascending. And there's been moments where I'm like, all right, I don't, but like this felt like, all right, I see it. I feel the energy. I understand why everything is happening over here. So shout out to him. There's some good energy coming out of that. There's some also bad energy coming out of that, but that's because it's pro wrestling. So, but yeah, ended the night with Cult of Personality playing, and the world shifted, and it felt funny, and then it also felt sad, because the internet can't handle funny. So, but yeah, I thought it was a strong showing. Chicago showed out 2 times in a row. Classic Chicago. And shout out to y'all.
Yeah, man. Listen. Chicago. Listen, man.
Come on, man.
Energy was in the building, guy. Listen. My guy is back. My guy is back. Not just that my guy is back. That guy in the crowd made this so much better because he took that moment. He was just like, look, man, you know where we're at.
Yeah.
And again, to my point of WWE coming here and trying to make a statement, Punk ending the show, looking dead in the camera and saying, whose city is this?
Yeah.
That's a statement, man. I'm sorry, but it is. That's a statement. Can't say that, like I said, I was in the crowd to feel that energy. But if you know me, you know the second you seen this guy hopping out and my man jumping over the barcade with him and hitting the Chicago, I was through the roof.
I was like, that's Phil. That's what exactly I was like. Oh, that's exactly what Phil would do if he was down there. I was like, this is as Chicago as you can get. CM Punk returning in Chicago. Chicago is hot as hell. This guy's behind him yelling Chicago. I'm like, if somebody was eating Harold's chickens in the back, this would be like exactly what needed to happen. No, really dope moment, man. Like we talked at nauseum about CM Punk drama in AEW, all this stuff, but man, get back to the graps. Let's get back to the moments. Let's get back to the shits.
Listen,
and this feels like getting back to the shits.
Get back to the energy, brother. There are bits of this that I don't like. We can get into some of the downer stuff about it, but the entrance itself and just like Allstate Arena rocking for this guy. This guy's done historic things at Allstate Arena. That is where Money in the Bank 2011 took place. Probably one of the biggest moments of his career. It is very surreal to see him there again.
That's wild.
I
saw you trying to get an autograph out by his G-Wagon too at the end of it.
That was not me. I don't know why people thought that. That was not me.
Phil running outside to chase down CM Punk's G-Wagon would be crazy as hell.
Nah, that was not me. But yeah, I thought the return was good. I thought they executed it well. We got the stuff in the press conference where Hunter had the biggest smug grin on his face. Like, you could see all over his face just what this meant. We got that picture afterwards of him doing a Hunter point to him, which is like, what world are we in? This just doesn't make sense. It doesn't.
I still can't.
It doesn't
Nobody
compute.
can convince me it's not AI, bro. Every time I see it.
Yeah, but we got the news in the press conference that this basically came about in the week of. There are very interesting things linked to this. Apparently, Punk reached out to them, and then that turned into negotiations. But yeah, apparently this all happened within a span of a week. The guy came in, signed his contract the day of Survivor Series, ran out there in a white tee, still had his Samsung watch on, um, got that entrance in, partied up with my guy in the city, went up for the city one more time, hopped in the G Wagon, and went back home.
You know that collision where Punk got fired and then the Young Bucks came and Matt Jackson ran around the ring with his arms in there. Triple H did that exact same thing at the press conference. He didn't run around the ring, but he did that exact same thing on an opposite sense. I'm like, this is the smuggest look I've ever seen
It,
anyone have in my entire life.
yeah, you could feel it.
You
Yeah.
can feel it.
Again, as a longtime Punk fan, there are things about this I don't like, but it, it is what it is. I have been trying to wrap my head around him going back for quite some time. I of course ended up being wrong because I got on this podcast just last week and said he won't be there, guys, because I didn't think that they were going to get this done by Survivor Series. That didn't mean I didn't think he was going back because I've been thinking for a while that he's going to go back. I as as insane as that sounds, we have been hearing things from since last year that there was a chance that he can go back. There was interest in him, and I've been saying all along, Fox seems like they want this guy, and so far, those guys, if it's not Fox but Nick Khan, those guys that they want, they ended up getting him. So
that was the first time I had a scoop was I heard about CM Punk getting that job at Backstage. I didn't have anybody to give scoops to at that time, but he got that job with WWE Backstage. That's what it's called, right? He got that job with Backstage, and at that time, WWE they wanted him to sign a wrestling contract, but he wasn't getting down like that. So there's been interest for getting CM Punk back to WWE for a while. And how long have we been hearing about this Nick Khan thing? It's been like it's been a while at this point. Of like, I know this guy's insanely interested in having the business of CM Punk. So none of this really surprised me at all. I think just like the quickness of like hearing that they put the deal together on the day essentially is like the wildest part for me.
Yeah. Talk about having scoops. I had a phone call with you way back last year, and I told you then that his camp has spoken to somebody over there, and they were interested. When that Nick Khan quote came out, when somebody asked him about it this year, and he really didn't give a real answer, and people were like, they don't want him. I was like, guys, that's not true, because I already knew that Nick was interested. Now, again, I couldn't put that out there because couldn't reveal where I heard that from. And I have no interest in being a Scoops guy at all.
No,
but I knew that a year ago. So I knew that there was a possibility that he can go back. There was a possibility that he could have went there before he signed with AEW. A lot of people don't know that. So I do think that, him going to AEW and everything he did in ring wise and business wise going well helped him go back here. When Matt Menard was tweeting stuff, and he tweeted that AEW saved wrestling, he kind of has a point, because I do think that AEW has forced WWE to step up their game. I do think that AEW bringing Punk in and what happened with him there, and even if you even want to add the petty side of it, that he got fired, and this helps them out by bringing him in after he got fired, you got to attribute some of that to what he did with AEW. I think that, and again, that's not me trying to credit AEW, but I just think that that's the state of wrestling right now. I think that their competition is good. Competition is good for wrestling, man, because it has helped in so many ways. I don't know, man. It's exciting. It's exciting to be a wrestling fan because there's so much stuff happening free agency wise. Like the fact that we don't know what could happen. Like Mercedes could end up at AEW. Mercedes could go back. Even the stuff with like Will Ospreay signing with AEW, it's a big deal, man. Like it's just so much stuff wrestling wise where it just feels like movement wise, it's more exciting than it's ever been.
Yeah, I think that as wrestling fans, we need to just enjoy it. That's the best thing. Like,
Yeah.
we get to reap the benefits of people being petty. We get to reap the benefits of people being wild. We get to reap the benefits of people's contracts expiring. We just get to reap the benefits. We don't have to take in the other stuff. Eloquent says it's a good thing to go through. He says, y'all think Punk works Saudi? Would lose respect. That's been the biggest thing. People have been bringing up that Miz tweet of him saying, go, you know what he said to Miz. How do you feel about him going overseas potentially, Phil?
I would hate it. I would hate it if he did the Saudi shows. Just because of everything he said before, everything that he's kind of represented before that, I would hate it. And there are bits about it. I've spoken on this podcast about saying I did not want him to go back because just the way he spoke at that place and just how, I mean, even if you take at face value him saying that WWE was the place that made him sick and he had to go away to find his love for wrestling again and come back. I don't like the idea of this person saying that this place made him fall out of love with wrestling and he had to go back there to get it back. It's something about that just feels very icky, but at the same time, it's wrestling and I understand it. But yeah, there are bits of this that I absolutely don't like as a Punk fan, and I totally understand people that feel like this makes him look like a hypocrite. I wrote the article for Bleacher Report and just like the evolution of Punk for the last 9 years. And I do think that there's fair criticism to throw at Punk based on all of this. But at the same time, it's wrestling, man. Like, get your bag, bro.
That's exactly how I felt after the promo on Monday. Is I immediately thought of him saying, this place made me sick. This place made me hate wrestling. And I don't know if that was the point he wanted to give off after that promo, but that's how I felt. And I was like, man, I don't want this. If this is what this is, I don't want it.
Yeah. Like I said, so there are bits of it that I don't like. But of course, also, get your lies off. He got out there. He got out there and did that promo on Monday, and he got some lies off. Get them lies off, bro. But the thing that I'm sure other people were waiting for me to say in this, because I saw a lot of people saying that Punk coming out, it ruined Orton's night because Orton didn't get the moment that he deserved, which I don't agree with. I think he had his moment. This did feel very similar to All Out in some ways, that you got two big returns in the night. Well, they weren't returns for AEW. They were two big signings. But you got two big returns for WWE in the same night. And it kind of had the same energy as All Out in some ways. Man, I saw people saying this overshadows the guys in the main event. The most talked about guy in the main event going into it. And I saw people trying to throw some shade on my guy and say he's the champion going into this War Games match and he's not even the main character on his team. The guy that got the most talked about headlines and discussion around him other than CM Punk was Seth Rollins, because Seth Rollins made the best out of that moment by immediately starting to work towards something. Immediately we got the video coming out of him getting angry, throwing up the double birds at Punk.
Put him up.
Put him up. I'll suck you in the mouth. We got that, and I was just like, I see what my guys are going. Again, wasn't the biggest fan of Punk going back there, but listen, if you tell me that the result of this is him going back and two of my favorite wrestlers immediately scheming to get their WrestleMania main event. No, buddy. No slander for me, buddy. All the praise to these two guys for potentially making this happen. If this leads to Seth Rollins versus CM Punk in the main event of WrestleMania, I'm out of here, buddy. You already know what time it is, man.
You already immediately, when talks of CM Punk even going back to WWE started, you said, if I could get this match, then we're all good. And they immediately went right into it. It seems it's pretty wild.
Immediately started working towards the match. And again, we have conversations all the time. I just want y'all to give me my credit, man. I Just give me my credit, man.
Straight
Go
up.
back and go back and run the tape, buddy. Run the tape when the Nick Hausman interview came out, and remember what I said when Rollins was doing that interview, and he was calling him a cancer, hates him, don't come back here, no, Phil, stay away. And what did I say to you guys that day when it happened? I said, that guy is working. That guy is having fun with the situation. And here we are again. That guy is working. Get the fucking cat excited, goddammit. Get the match. Get your match, Seth. I know what time it is, buddy. Get your main event, brother. Get your main event, man. Punk has been saying it for the longest. That's the last thing he wants to do with WWE is get his main event, buddy. Get your main event. Get the match. Again, listen. I know people want to paint me out to be a certain way. Just give me my credit, man. Go back and look at the tape. What did I say again? I remember we talked about this during WrestleMania weekend. I sat here and I said, man, it's all right, man. You don't have to hate CM Punk, man. It's all right. You guys are more alike than you think, man. Listen, my guys teaming up to get that WrestleMania main event. Possibly the best thing that could come of this. Now, again, they might not get this main event, but buddy, don't ever let it happen, Betty. They get this main event, buddy. I'm going to all the slander, buddy. Out of all of this, man, we started this year. With friend of the show, third member on this podcast. I told him then, man, they don't need 2 belts. Not only did we get another belt, my guy ended up with that belt around his waist. Yeah. I heard all the slander this year. We got to September. Who was number 1 on the PWI?
Leave me out of this.
Listen, man, we got through all of this shameless stuff. Oh, man, nobody in this match looks big anymore. Listen, man, Seth Rollins, buddy. We're here, buddy. Book the match, buddy. Cut the check, Hunter. Cut the checks.
Mm-hmm. Listen, I know working when I see it with my eyes. And as soon as I saw them put that video out of Seth, I'm like, oh, bro, it's working. He's doing the little, the scrappy dude. Put him up, dude. What's going on here? And then Sean put out a report, just back to Sean, saying that they did film some stuff backstage, and this was a big work because, of course, look what's going on here. Seth Rollins is a smart wrestler. The funniest thing about all of this is when Seth Rollins came in and started cooking, my brain always said this is the successor to CM Punk. When he was in NXT, it was like, oh, this is who's going to be, when Punk is done, this is the guy, this is going to be the new Punk. They had like the same kind of styles, same kind of visual looks and all this stuff. And so for them now to get to this point, it's like, this makes the most sense in the world. Like, they've been building this match for how many years at this point? They've been having these Twitter back and forth. Seth did that video with Nick Hausman. Punk has been trying to little bro him for a long time now. And but now it's like going to be a WrestleMania angle, I think, or potentially a Royal Rumble. People are saying it could happen before that. But to go from that to this is pretty wild.
Pretty potential for a generational feud, man. We have all the connections to this. He's linked to one of the last things Punk did in the company as a member of the Shield. The backstage stuff you said, that people are digging up the tweets and the clips. That tweet of Seth Rollins saying that Bryan versus Punk is one of his favorite matches and all of this.
Mm-hmm. They're both former Ring of Honor world champions. Like, there's so many connections.
Listen, they're both polarizing guys. There's a Venn diagram of people that don't like Seth Rollins and don't like CM Punk, and I am dead in the middle as a guy that likes both of these guys.
Right.
And oh man, it's just
the feeling has been restored, is what you're saying.
I won't say all of that. There are things about this that again that feel a little bit slimy that I don't like. But again, if the necessary evil out of this is me possibly getting the main event that Punk has always wanted. And the guy standing across him in that ring is Seth Rollins. Forget about it. I'm out of here, bro.
But Philip, also on the timeline this week, they said that there could be another WrestleMania match potentially happening with your boy. We could run it back, this match that we've been 10 years in the making with fellow, we never thought he would be back in the ring, Stone Cold Steve Austin. They could potentially do this match. How do you feel about the potentially doing CM Punk and Stone Cold Steve Austin?
Yeah, I think I think this is the best chance to do it. If you want to do that dream match,
do it now.
I think you've got the chance to do it now. You're probably not going to get a better opportunity. I said immediately, man, if you can somehow get the Broken Skull session back and get Punk in that seat across from Austin doing the interview, you got to make that happen immediately, man. But yeah, I can't say that's something that he wanted before he left. He wanted the Austin feud. So if we get it this time around, come on, man, do business, man.
Do you think he got some clauses in his contract? Like, oh, I need this, I need that. All these things that I said I didn't get before. Maybe I could get them now.
I mean, we did get.
Oh, there is a clause. That's not what I was trying to transition into. But that's...
we did get some news that there was potentially a behavioral clause in there, which makes sense, of course, because based on the way that he left AEW, him being fired from AEW, and the news that we heard the entire time that he was at AEW, that makes sense business-wise for WWE to do. And you know, it's WWE. They're gonna cover their asses, so I get it. But yeah, I don't know if he came in with things that he wanted. Maybe, you know, because we got word that he had an hour-long conversation with Triple H that, and in that, you know, he kind of got off his chest some things that he wanted, and you know, Triple H said that what he wanted from him. We'll never know what the entirety of that conversation was. But yeah, again, do I think that he came back immediately thinking, all right, the only thing that will make this worth it is finally getting that WrestleMania main event, the thing that eluded me for so long. I'm gonna try and get it. He's coming back ahead of Royal Rumble. He's never won a Royal Rumble. I don't know.
It's crazy.
There's so many things that could come of this. I mean, the idea that we could potentially get Punk versus Roman is also a pretty big deal. I think that is one of the biggest matches of this era that you could possibly do. I mean, just based off of their history, based off of the needle mover stuff, which, man, boy, Roman, that needle mover stuff is not aged well. That guy came in right away and started breaking records.
Started moving the needle, as they
Started
say.
moving the needle. Is already one of the top merch sellers in the company in less than a week.
Whew.
But that needle mover stuff, buddy, that did not age well, buddy.
They're gonna have some Punk has some ammunition for when they start these promo back and forth. He's like, all that shit you were talking went right out the window as soon as I came back, big dog.
Yeah, and I mean, of course, Roman has ammunition as well.
Totally.
But I mean, I guess that's our way we can get into the promo on Monday.
Yeah.
I immediately did not fall for WWE's ploy, and I said that on Twitter. I saw what they were doing immediately when they were like,
did not watch live.
when I saw the report go out that he was going to go on live, I was like, "Oh, I'm not watching it. Cause I'll catch you later." Because I knew what this was going to be. I knew this was going to be 3 hours of us waiting for him to come out, and the promo was not going to feel like it was worth it for a 3-hour wait, and it definitely was not worth a 3-hour wait. I don't think the promo was terrible, like some people made it out to be, but when you hype it up to that degree. Obviously, getting after 3 hours of wrestling, getting to that, it's not going to live up to that.
I have issues. The issue number one is I've seen CM Punk in this exact situation and he's executed. Like he's been in we got a CM Punk promo at the end of the night, blah, blah, blah. You better wait for it. Then we got to that promo and he blew it out of the water. This wasn't that. I have some issues where we've landed with these let it play out subliminal type deals. CM Punk came and did like a pretty half-ass promo, was not that great of a promo. Now, but
very sanitary Punk promo.
Sanitary as hell. But off the backs of that, there was a bunch of think pieces, a bunch of conspiracy theories of like, oh, that was the point. This is leading to this. He planted all these seeds. He did all this shit. But I'm like, if that's where we've landed as like, I can do any kind of promo and you're just going to think piece it into being what you think it is or better than what it is. I don't really know if I want to land at that place. I know it's all subjective, but it's like, if everything's going to be like conspiracy theories, like maybe it's not that. Maybe it's just what's presented on the surface is what it is. He came back and was like, I'm home, you guys. Like, I'm getting this bag. Like, thanks. Like, Seth Rollins is here.
Thanks.
I appreciate y'all. Like, I don't know what it's like, okay, he just gave us a half-ass promo. That's it. Maybe that's the most to it. Maybe there isn't this conspiracy theory. Maybe there isn't all these, this is leading to the future. He just came back and they were like, hey, do a promo in the ring and don't fucking bury AEW while you do it. That's the funniest part. Of people are like, that's why you're mad. I'm not mad at all that he didn't. I didn't expect him to come on and be like, and the backstage brawl and I punched Nick Jackson and he punched my dog. Like, none of this. I didn't expect him to talk about Brawl Out, but I expected him to come and show the fucking fire. CM Punk is like, if you make a Mount Rushmore of promo guys, like for our generation, he's probably like the best promo guy of our generation. Like, that's not the type of promos that this guy gives up, is where I landed with it. If it is a part of some bigger conspiracy, great. But I just don't want to be at this point where they could do shit like that. And we're like, well, it's for this reason. It's like, maybe it's just was whack.
Hey, you know where you are now. You're now among Fed fans, and that's what they do. You gotta listen to the let it play it out stuff. You gotta listen to, well, give it time. And I think it's fair to say that this promo wasn't for you. I think it's fair to criticize the promo. I think there was some stuff that he put in there that I enjoyed. There's some stuff in there that I liked. But it was a very sanitary Punk promo. In comparison to what we've seen from him and what we'd expect from him, this was not it. I mean, there are obvious things he did. He opened the promo with the Brett line from 2010. When Brett came back, he opened his promo the same way. I'd expect nothing less from a guy that worships at the altar of Bret Hart. That was cool. He did the most controversial stuff, of course, is him saying that I am here and people are afraid of me because I'm here to tell the truth. And then he proceeded to tell us, I'm home. I love you guys. I always wanted to be here. And I'm just like, yeah, those two things
tell the truth,
each other.
and then I lie right immediately afterwards.
Again, get your lies off, man. I appreciate it. It's fine. Get your lies off. But, some of this stuff wasn't really for me. But again, I think that it plays into the story because this guy is too smart not to go out there and lay seeds along with Rollins cutting the promo earlier in the night, calling him a hypocrite. And I think that that's going to lead to something. There are other things that he said that were very pointed. Of course, him saying a wise man once told me to get the best out of this place, you got to leave and come back. Wise man might be right. Of course, hinting at possibly doing some stuff with Heyman again. And buddy, if you're talking about teaming him up with Heyman again somewhere down the line, I'm here for it because that's kind of the last shoe to drop for Roman. He's losing all of his guys. Jimmy's over on Raw now. All he's got left is Solo and Jimmy. And Jimmy is basically gunning for a spot. That's kind of the last shoe to drop in the implosion of the bloodline is Paul leaving him. And the guy that Paul could very much leave him for is notorious Paul Heyman guy, CM Punk. And I very much like the idea that I think if you're doing the Roman and Punk feud, yeah, it makes sense for Paul to side with him, and it makes sense for Punk to eventually start turning heel. If you want to turn Roman babyface sometime in 2024, I think that's the best way to do it. I think there's other good stuff that I liked about it. I think him at the end of it, referencing the pipe bomb with the best in the world stuff he was saying. I'm the best in the world on this mic, in this ring, even on commentary. When they recut it on either Raw or SmackDown and they cut back the flashbacks to the pipe bomb while he was doing it, I was like, nah, that's fire. All right, I was like, that's fire. Come on, man. or in him ending the promo, looking dead at the camera, saying, "I'm back. I'm here to make money, not to make friends." Get your bag, buddy. Listen, Cash Money Punk being here for the 2023. I'm here, man. I'm here for it, buddy. Get to the antics, man. Because I very much wanted him to turn heel in AEW, and we didn't get the heel run I wanted there, and I feel like there's the makings of a very good heel run here.
Yeah, yes, I hear all the seeds planted. I saw it. I know what he's doing. It just felt soulless as
it did
hell.
But it did. I can agree with that.
That is WWE.
I mean, I think that he's not going to be able to do some of the things that he did over there. That's just not going to be what it is.
Like not have a good time.
Yeah, not. He's not going to do something like the dog collar match and come out to his ROH theme. He's not going to do something like that, and he's not going to be able to do that kind of niche stuff anymore.
Nobody's going to be able to make him cry in a press conference.
That's some more interesting stuff. This guy cried in that press conference because he did not want Vince McMahon to get his Ring of Honor content. And now you are signed back over there at WWE. There's so many bits of this that look crazy in the light.
I forgot about that. That's the reason why he was crying.
Yes. There's so many things. There's that video of him sitting next to Jade, and he's like, yeah, man, none of my business, though. And he sips his coffee. Both of those people are signed with the Fed now. It's just what it is. I don't know. Yeah, like I said, there are things I like about this promo. There are things I definitely understand people that did not like the promo and felt like it was underwhelming. It wasn't as, inflammatory as people wanted it to be, of course. He didn't take any shots at AEW. I did think it was something to him continuously saying more than once in that promo how dangerous he is, how feared he is. I think that was intentional. You can read of that what you want, but he said it more than once, which made me think that it was intentional.
Interesting stuff. Let's get into some super chats before we move forward. Armando Gonzalez says, God could come out of the sky and tell them the truth, and they would still argue with him. Like Reg, I started to back off Twitter and unfollow people. Yeah, it's for my mental health. Yeah. My mental health has been so much better since I've limited my social media time. I took notifications off of my Twitter like a year ago or something at this point, and like life is so different, like not being attacked. I mean, I'm still getting attacked constantly. I don't know why. I don't even be saying shit, and they still be finding a way. And this fool, sorry too. And it's from like, why am I in this? Every time Phil's in a battle, they're like, and your friend sucks too. I'm like, wait, what did I do? Leave me out of this. I hate y'all.
I be trying to ignore a lot of stuff, man. I see a lot of subtweets directed my way. I see stuff directed at my way, and I just politely ignore it. Like, yeah, you got it. This isn't the old me where I used to be out in these Twitter streets fighting people. I just can't do it.
Jay Holler says, social media has been wild for the last week. Seen a lot of WWE homers and trolls taking victory laps and wishing for AEW's downfall.
Buddy, after 9 years of this, I was on Twitter. I was on message boards when you guys hated CM Punk. I was on here when you guys hated everything from that podcast and everything. And now watching WWE fans do this victory lap, watching WWE trolls defend him, it is fucking weird to me. I just cannot process it, man. It is weird.
Dude, it's been 10 years of like slander essentially. When they slandered him in AEW. They like every time he would talk, they slandered. But now they're like, "Is he the best in the world? Let's talk about our best CM Punk matches." And I'm like, "What?"
It's wild, man.
Chris says, "Do you think Punk will try to get fired? Do you think Punk tried to get fired from AEW to go to WWE?" I think is what Chris is saying.
Do you think Punk tried? I don't know.
I think you know what I mean, because people were saying this week that after. They think that he did what he did to get fired to go back to WWE, talking about like Nick Khan stuff previously and all this. But no, I don't think that's what happened.
I don't. But
I don't know.
I don't know. I did think it was funny after he debuted again and seeing people that were very much happy for him and tweeting things. And I was like, oh, this looks wild, man. This looks kind of nasty, man. It had that look like very specific people. Was like, yeah, how did you get out of that contract, bro? Send me the clip
Send me the
notes.
link.
How can I get it? How can I be like you, man? I'm trying to be back over there too.
Why you calling out Andrade like that?
It looked
Andrade
away,
said, "Look, I'm outside with this. I don't care, bro."
Listen, he sent him a tweet like, "Yo, how far were you away from when you lunged them? Did you lunge from this direction? What velocity were you going at? Like,
By lunge, like were your arms out? Like did you have a fighting stance? Like how deep was it?
Nah, man. How do I get in here, man? Like, how do I get my shit up too, man? Like,
And like the submission hold that you put Jack Perry in, was it a front face lock? Did you did you get him in a rear naked choke? Like, I need the specifics.
How'd you get out of the contract, man? Yeah, I don't know, man. It looks away, but hey, man, the game is the game, man.
The game is the game, man. Jose Palomares says, with or without success targeted by TK, you guys think ROH might see success? We'll see more success next year? That's a hell of a question, man. Jose.
I don't know, man. There are things to be optimistic about with ROH, but there's also so many things where I'm just like, I don't know, man. You just gotta. I really feel like they've gotta allow ROH to have its own identity again, and I think that's the biggest problem.
Yeah, like I don't know if the Ring of Honor Championship is even going to be featured on their pay-per-view because it's attached to the Continental Classic. Like that's how it's like ROH is playing secondary. They're already the third brand of this, but like even in this, they're like playing secondary to even themselves at this point. It's like we haven't built a world title program at all on the TV show because the world title's attached to that. And it's like, that's good for the belt, but like the brand is suffering. Like this show should be main evented final battle by Athena and Billie Starkz. Like we've told that story, that's established. But like other than that, there's not a lot to really grasp onto. And like I don't know if that's gonna change ever. It's like we're building up to Final Battle's the biggest ROH show of the year. It has been for a long time, and it doesn't feel like that besides the Athena and Billie Starkz stuff. So I want to have some hope. I've heard some rumblings of some things that might help in the New Year's, and I'm hoping that that works, but I don't know if the perception is too far gone. Like, even if you start cooking again, are people going to come back? I don't know if that's going to happen.
Yeah, I don't know.
Steph the writer says, let's talk about the feud that really matters. Athena versus Eddie Kingston. Yeah, Steph's talking about, of course, at the beginning of the Ring of Honor show this week, Athena went on a scorching, scathing, heated run talking about Eddie Kingston, and he essentially was saying that the people in the Ring of Honor need to step up with their championships and stuff. And Athena's like, bro, I've been here on the ground floor fighting every single week to be the best, to be the ROH MVP and to carry this brand. Amazing promo. Like the work that she's been doing recently is so sick. So yeah, do the intergender match. Let's get it.
Yeah, that promo was fire, and a lot of facts were spit in that promo. She is very much covering that brand on her back. She is the one that's on TV every week. She is the champion that is the most visible.
Yep.
We have a guest.
We have a guest.
Hold on. Let's add her to the stream. Hold on. Let's get this. Bang.
I had to run it with my bonnet. We was getting crazy with the CM Punk talk. So don't mind my voice. I went to House of Glory last night and I was yelling out "fuck Matt Cardona" mad loud at the top of my lungs.
What's up, Cresta? What's good with you, lady?
What's up, guys? Y'all, we were doing CM Punk haberdashery, and I'm here for it. Oh, he was capping so hard. Cash Money Punk. Get your
Cash money Punk. Get
no,
your
he
bag,
set him
bro.
up for the cap. Cresta, you gotta he laid the groundwork. He was like, look, I'm not gonna be one of those cappers, and then immediately after a bunch of cap. I'm not mad at it.
To be fair, he didn't cap. That's why I said this is haberdashery. At some point, you go from cap to literally making hat. You're literally making hats, bro. When he said, I'm home, I was like, oh, we here for the cap. I'm here for the cap.
Man,
Captain
off
America
rip, you're
over here.
home, bro. All right.
Listen, I think it's funny. Get your money. And I was watching you guys talk about, oh, is he gonna go to Saudi? If I never work for WWE, it's because I'm quote tweeting that tweet. It's gonna
Straight
be
up.
me. Because I would do it too. You're not gonna suck my let me chill. But S my D, I'm gonna do what I want. Oh, Cresta Star, you want $1 million to go over to Saudi Arabia and job for like 20 minutes? I'm there. Y'all can call me what you want. But who getting paid? You see Sean Ross' house at? You see his house set up in? I'm trying to get this for myself. So
straight up. Wild work. What did you think initially, Cresta? Was this in your lexicon? Did you think this would ever happen? I was on like, it probably would happen, but it was a big shock to me.
I missed the whole CM Punk pipe bomb. I only know CM Punk from chants and in AEW. This doesn't surprise me. This doesn't bother me because wrestling, I love wrestling, but everything in wrestling is a joke. And I think you had said this earlier. The moment Phil came out, fucking Seth Rollins going.
I was like, let's get it, man. Let's work.
He was like, I'm getting this WrestleMania spot. Nobody stopping me.
Listen, man. I think the other part that's funny about it is that Punk is a guy that famously lost his WrestleMania main event to The Rock. And we got all of this talk for about 2 years of us possibly getting Rock versus Roman in the main event. And we've heard all this stuff Rollins has talked about, how he's never felt like the guy. Again, man, the idea of those two specific guys, like, bro, I'm getting my WrestleMania main event one way or another and getting together and scheming. Bro, that is hilarious.
That's Jeff Jarrett levels.
Hysterical, bro.
Shut up.
I don't mind it. Like, not for nothing. And I feel like this is a CM Punk promo I'm about to say from AEW. Go ahead and see if the grass is greener on the other side of the fence. When you're main eventing WrestleMania night 47, come back and talk to me. I'm like, but that's gonna be you. I'm here for the shenanigans. It's wrestling. It's never that deep to me. I'm here for the shenanigans. But when you are wrestling night 87, I'm laughing. I'm laughing. It's fun. It's wrestling. It's never.
That's what I was saying. I'm like, him and Seth are orchestrating this deal. Seth is doing to put him up, and I'm like, y'all are both still gonna lose to Roman Reigns for that main event at WrestleMania. Sorry.
That's a
fact. Roman's still main eventing night 2 for sure.
And if not, we all know that if it is CM Punk, honestly, I would laugh. There have been so many outs. I think it could go to Cody, Sammy, Jay. I know I'm missing LA Knight. It could go to so many people. But if CM Punk comes and takes double belts off of Roman,
ooh.
Listen, man.
Oh my God, the fires that would be set.
This is gonna be me on Twitter because I know y'all gonna be mad, but this is gonna be me, academic style.
Academic style.
Y'all gonna be sick of me. Because I'm laughing.
But yeah, no, listen.
You can't be mad. Get your money. You can't be mad.
Right.
Listen. Again, I don't think that this guy will beat Roman, but even the idea of we might not get, him coming back and doing the ROH thing, but are you kidding me? Him possibly coming out to fire burned and taking that belt off Roman? That is like the most insane fan booking ever, bro, which is never going to happen, but that just sounds so insane.
That's funny, though. That's funny. Like, honestly, in my wrestling booking mind, CM Punk is still under that devil mask and he's outworking everyone. He's doing both shows. He's on his Christian Cage shit. He's pulling a Rick Rude. He's on both shows at the same time.
Stop it.
Could you imagine? No way.
This is wrestling. Anything's possible. I feel like we're at the point now. It's a great time to be a wrestling fan.
It is.
But I do think that in a grand scheme of let's get this money, maybe not CM Punk, but I do see an AEW, WWE, especially with Vince. I see it. And I would love it for it to be this, but it won't be this. But if it is, I'm peeing myself. Bookmark that. I'm peeing myself if it is. Yeah.
You're gonna keep all your urine because that is not happening.
You're gonna keep all your urine.
He said, "You're in town, buddy."
Nah,
Things
that is
are off the
never.
rails.
Yeah, I don't see that ever happening, man. But yeah,
A wrestling nerd can dream. Listen, I'm a Care Bear. I want everyone to get along. You know what I mean? But CM Punk might be contentious. But how funny would that be?
it would be very funny. And again, I've seen people that were just like, man, is this your boy Phil? You going back over there? It's shameful. Listen, man. Yes. I hate to break it to you guys. Break it to you guys.
Stop trying to shame my friend. Yes, that is his boy, and he is standing up for Phil. All right.
Listen, man.
I'm not even mad at it. Get your money.
Listen,
technically,
man.
you got fired from the other place. So why would I just be
Not
jobless?
even technically. Not
technically.
technically. He did get fired.
No, why would I be jobless?
I don't know what people expected me to do. Yeah, I don't like some things about this, but what do you expect me to not be a CM Punk fan?
Come on.
How long have you guys known me? Like, in the 2 years of me recording this podcast, did you guys think that was an option? Like, I hate to break it to you guys, but no, that's my guy. Yeah, no, we're
Not an option.
We're
Not an
rolling. Like I said behind the paywall. Yeah, man, I don't like some of this. This looks disgusting, but I'm following my guy into the belly of the beast, man. This is what's happening, man.
Some people not wrestling. I am like that with Zelina Vega. Zelina Vega go and slap the Pope, and I'll still be like, maybe he had it coming. I don't know.
Yeah, listen, man.
That's crazy.
I don't agree with everything the guy does, but we're still out here. We're still rocking, man.
We're
still rocking, man.
Up.
We're still rocking, man. I explained this to somebody on Spaces the other night because I'm like, man, no, loyalty among Chicago sports fans is just different, man. Like,
it is.
That's our guy, man. When you looked at how he was embraced the second he came back here in Allstate, it was like nothing happened. I saw somebody say,
jumping the rail.
Yeah.
Listen, man. I seen somebody say, yeah, but Tony Khan has said this and all of that, and I said, oh, yeah, we're still Punk fans over here. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
There are people
he lunged at him. He was awful in the locker room. A bunch of people are awful in the locker room. Some people just extend a little bit stronger than this.
There's some people that are awful in the locker room that you guys don't know about.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. There are people who do worse things and enjoy a full career. All CM Punk did was a little razzle dazzle, mink.
Listen, man.
Who hasn't minked up? Who hasn't minked up with coworkers?
Hey, listen, man. All I know is he asked homeboy, did he have a problem? And it proceeded into some stuff.
We have a problem.
And he said yes, and then they did math to solve it. So
cried him a river. He brought that river right to his front door.
I would just say that it is wild that people that have made it out to be that Jack was right in this. Jack still is not on TV. CM Punk is.
Man.
I don't even care that much. I be laughing. To me, this whole thing is funny. Like the fact that people care so much is even crazy. It's like, well, he did this. Were you there? Did you have a front row seat? No. So just laugh, bro. You know how many times I heard Jeff Jarrett never drew a dime, but yet this man hasn't missed a paycheck? Knock it off.
He hasn't this one. Yeah.
Never gonna miss a paycheck.
Him and Karen Jarrett never missed a paycheck. You better stop.
That was another wild picture we got this week, by the way, of backstage at Raw. Cody Rhodes standing next to Nick Aldis and Dixie Carter. What? Backstage at Raw.
This picture.
You didn't see this picture? Yes.
Oh my God. Wrestling is wild, bro. Wrestling is crazy. Dixie Carter was at Raw?
Yes. It like I said, took a picture with Cody Rhodes and Nick Aldis. All three of them were backstage at Raw.
That's crazy. Nick Aldis being in WWE is still like crazy to me. I literally just saw that man on Impact last year. Right. And now this man, General, what's all this? General man. Yeah.
Hey, so Cressa, tell us a little bit about the Hog Show.
Bro, the House of Glory show. First things first, House of Glory. 10 out of 10 on their drinks. You may pay $24, but you get a Jack and Coke. Last time I went, Mike Santana said he was going to F Matt Cardona up, and that's exactly what he did. Matt Cardona did the toy spot, slammed old boy on a bunch of toys, and my little brother caught one of them out the ring. He said, "This is my souvenir. You can't get it back."
Yes.
What else happened? Gringo Loco had an amazing match with now I don't know everybody's name, so please, House of Glory people, if you're watching this, don't beat me up. Main event. Oh, I got a scoop. Screw you, Sean Ross Sapp.
Let's go.
Main event called out ABC for the Impact Tag titles on January 6th. So guess who's going to that? Guess who's going to that House of Glory show? Me. Swerve versus Speedball. Now, I'm already on the Speedball needs to be wrestler of 2023. I'm on that hype train. But seeing that in real life, you could not pay me to take none of Speedball kicks. You could not pay me. In fact, we fighting backstage. Bro, it looked like he literally killed Swerve, bro. He hit this man with 2 Ultimo weapons on his back. I'm like, ain't no way. Ain't no way. I'm literally fist fighting you backstage.
No, I talked to 2 people that wrestled him this year that said, oh, no, everything is real.
Oh, yeah. He slapped Swerve so hard that I saw the mist of sweat come out. And that was from his foot. Yo, you couldn't pay me. You couldn't pay me. It was a good match. Nana cheated him out his boots, but it was a great match. I'm trying to think of what else happened, but it started off cool, but as the nights went, I was like, these are some good drinks. These are some good drinks. There's wrestling going on. It was great. I strongly suggest anyone ever, anywhere, if you have a chance to go to a House of Glory show, it is such a good time. The chairs very squished together, but hey, who wants a wrestling show without getting to know your bro? You know what I mean? So it's a great time. I had a great time. It was really, really good. I can't wait to see ABC in the Bronx, so I'm not gonna hold you.
Was Red there?
Honestly, I don't even know what Amazing Red looks like. And if he was, I wouldn't have known. I've been trying to scout this man. I didn't even know I walked past Matt Cardona during the meet and greet because this man looked extra regular. I was like, that's a big man. My little brother's like, that's Matt Cardona. I was like, oh. So some of them, some people who were wrestlers in the crowd were very much low key. So even if he was, I literally only took a picture with Gringo Loco because my little brother's like, that's Gringo Loco. I was like, I don't recognize that man outside of this thing. These guys are very...
Oh, main event wrestle Grizzled Young Vets?
Yes, God. Yes, God. It was a good match. Main event won, and that's why main event called out ABC. And the Grizzled Young Veterans lost to the most devastating move in all professional wrestling, the surprise roll-up. So...
Shout out to Simon Miller.
Somebody tried to cheat, too. There was a team that was with each other last time that I cannot remember their names. And one guy wanted to cheat to win, and the other guy was like, I'm not doing that. So afterwards, the guy who looked like a small Will Hobbs beat up the other dude. And then they had a match this time. There was a ref bump, and then there was a Yambag Jones. So the Will Hobbs dude won. I can't think of his name. Please don't beat me up, y'all. I'm the worst. Y'all don't want me to do reviews for real, because this is exactly how they would.
Will Hobbs done, she says. You're thinking of Ken Broadway and Encore, maybe?
I am the worst wrestling fan you've ever seen. When someone says, don't you work for Fightful? I'm like, who's that? I've never heard of those guys. I just show up here, but I digress. But yeah, House of Glory was good. House of Glory was good. I strongly suggest y'all go and see it. It was a great time. I met a few of my TikTok mutuals, which is crazy because I've got 1 million TikTok mutuals. So go to House of Glory. Go there, have a great time. I'll beat you up. I don't have anything else to say.
All-star review for House of Glory. Definitely check out House of Glory and stop asking still. It's been like 5 years if Master P is involved. It's over. Sometimes people will ride these stories into the ground. Like, why are you still asking about Master P, bro? Leave me alone.
I didn't even know Master P was involved in this. So I'm such a fake wrestling fan. Now I just run with the gimmick. When people ask me like, oh, you've never seen this person wrestle? I'm just like, who's that?
I love it. Let's get into it.
You gotta get the bits off, man.
Like you said, you gotta get these yucks off because no matter what I say, I'm gonna be wrong, right? So if you ask me who's CM Punk, corporate mandate, chicken and mash, I don't know who you're talking about. Sorry.
Chicken and mash.
Chicken and mash is crazy as hell. Devil Kazuya 27 says Orton was taking all his vitamins while injured. Yeah, he looks
yoked up, buddy.
Bro was in the gym.
For someone who's supposed to have a backiotomy.
Speculation, you guys. Will Chisholm says, when Cody had those glasses on the media scrum, was he acting like Tony Khan, and him name dropping himself as an EVP popped me? LOL.
No, he's acting like Triple H. He was reading off all this stuff off of the paper that Triple H left there. I thought that was very obvious. That he did get an EVP joke off that I thought was very funny. Again, guys, stop taking this stuff so seriously. I don't think he meant it as like this big jab at AEW. It was a joke.
Right. Steven Marsuli says, I'm thinking Punk versus Logan Paul would be fire. Down to that?
It probably will be all right, but based on that Logan Paul promo from last night on SmackDown,
okay. Yeah.
Keep it.
Will Chisholm also says, if Mercedes not going back to WWE, if I'm Triple H, I'm telling Bailey stop teasing her, but it's too much smoke with this. But if she does come back, how crazy does Tony Khan look if she was at All In and then WWE?
That would be a crazy look.
Crazy.
I'm not gonna hold you though. I feel like for Mercedes to come back, the apology, I hate to agree with Punk here. The apology needs to be as loud as the disrespect. Y'all straight up disrespected her and Trinity before y'all left blaming them for some shit y'all did. So if I'm Mercedes and I'm standing on business, you like Phil, you're gonna have to offer me a bag of money, bro. And apology for Michael Cole at the top of the hour. That's what I need.
I'm just gonna prep you guys ahead of time. The apology is not gonna be as loud as the mistake.
No, there won't be one.
There won't be one.
If there's an apology in the form of a check, then all praise to Mercedes because she deserves it. But we'll probably never know about it.
Well, Chisholm also says if Vince was still booking, Dragon Lee and Santos would have no chance to cook. They would be jobbing out to Austin Theory 1,000%.
Yeah, this Survivor Series was very much a Triple H show. Like from start to finish. His booking style was throughout. You can see it.
I mean, just seeing Damage Control, you're like, Vince McMahon wouldn't have this at all. Like, so
no.
And that's how they're starting the show.
Yeah, that was the other funny thing about all this is that Survivor Series was hot, had that great crowd, good show. Got back to Raw, people didn't like Raw, and we immediately got that report. Nah, Triple H wasn't there. This was all Pritchard. What are you talking about? Trips wasn't even there. He had nothing to do with it.
I bet.
Sometimes it's like I like to give Triple H his credit, but I'm like sometimes I don't know, man. Triple H be booking some dumb shit too. So like he not Booker of the Year, so it's okay to critique this man. You know what I mean?
Who is Crestex Scott D'Amore?
Listen, y'all know how I'm an Impact shill, and yes, even though I saw Eric Young get murdered this year, we're not gonna talk about these murders, okay?
He's back.
You think Allie's going back?
That tweet was wild that dude did.
Did that tweet get you good,
Preston?
You saw my face. I normally have a lot to say, but you know what I have to say about this?
Yeah, speaking of somebody that died on Impact programming that could potentially go back, it would be interesting if Allie went back.
There's a lot of people who die. I'm waiting for Taya Valkyrie to come back from the undead realm. Like, there's so many people who...
She
Impact
did.
is good. Yeah, Impact is
She
good,
did.
but you might die. You might die.
Where is Taya and her husband at? I wonder.
They're both on AEW in the Lost World, but technically they're in the Shadow Realm. So
yeah, Johnny was attached to the QT stuff, so I'm not sure when we'll see Johnny again because, of course, the other big news this week is that QT announced that he is resigning from AEW and he will be finished with his responsibilities by the end of 2023.
That's crazy, but also good for you, QT, because low key, kind of like the Workhorsemen. And I feel that way about a lot of AEW originals.
Whoa. I'm not going to let you put the Workhorsemen in the same conversation as QT Marshall, bro.
I'm not slandering. Hold on. I'm not slandering. I'm just saying that there were people there from the beginning who ain't getting their shine. Like, I'll even go ahead and put Dark Order in there. Best Friends in there. There are certain people who have been there since the dirt who are not getting their shot. So him leaving, I understand it because you ain't gonna get me. I quit. You ain't gonna get me. So I respect it.
Yeah, I mean, real quickly on the QT stuff, I do of course think that he's contributed a lot behind the scenes that people probably don't know about. But I think that he wanted what he wanted he probably was never going to get there. I think he wanted to be on TV. He wanted to be a fixture, and I just don't think he was ever going to get that.
Yeah, behind the scenes, I think he done a lot. Like, the big homie has gone on record to say that, like, the big reason that why he's there is because QT put in the call to be like, QT called him personally to be like, hey, can you get to this, blah, blah, blah. So, like, if it wasn't for QT, we probably wouldn't see Will Hobbs on your TV. So, shout out to him for doing that. But yeah, he's never going to be AEW World Champion. And I think he thinks that he could be. And it's like, I respect you. I'm all into it. Like, of course, you're a pro wrestler. It's like being a rapper. Like, you should say you're the best rapper of all time, but you're not.
That's not nice. You know what I thought of that? It's like someone saying, yo,
sometimes the truth is
Eminem
scary.
can't battle rap. I'm like, who? Listen, you may not like him.
Nobody lying.
But I know a few people who don't like Eminem, but that's another conversation for another time.
This is very true, Puroso kid. QT Marshall did get a CM Punk match.
He did.
Stop it.
In Chicago.
Stop it.
That's
in
right.
Chicago.
Oh, shit.
Mm-hmm.
It's Reg laughing that's making this worse. Stop.
He did get QT Marshall match. He did get CM Punk match in Chicago.
Wow.
Yo,
Finesse. Talking about Jeff Jarrett. That's the ultimate finesse right
I
there.
see someone in the chat saying Kazarian was kind of in the same boat. And I definitely remember Kazarian going to Impact, cutting a promo, talking about I had to bet on myself, kind of pretty much saying AEW was cool, but also
I'm just saying, where's Scorpio at? What's happening? Where is Scorpio Sky?
Ooh.
That's a deep cut. That is. What was the rest of? Wait, is SCU still there? Where's the Fallen Angels? Christopher Daniels.
He was
just
doing jobs
there.
on Ring of Honor.
He was doing Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
Boo.
He was at the Chicago.
Like
taping.
you said, Kazarian's in TNA, so like it's over for that. But yeah, Scorpio Sky still, I think, has just put him back with Ethan Page, man. Come on.
Yeah, I agree. Get Men of the Year back together.
I'm even taking one step further. I feel like Ethan Page is underutilized. I'd rather see the North get back together. TBH.
Yeah, Ethan Page is very much underused.
I don't think that's gonna happen with the North. Last time somebody talked about it, they were like, "Nah." Was that Josh Alexander that was like, "We moved on, you guys, leave us alone."
I haven't moved on, Alexander. One time for the one time. You just did an IPWF show where you were Tim Burr. One time for the one time. Let me see the North. One time for the one time. You versus the Grizzled Young Veterans. One time for the one time, please.
Mm-hmm. We're gonna get into some more super chats. Our friend, my co-host on Wednesday nights, Denise Salcedo, sends a very generous super chat. No words, just friendship. Thanks, Denise. Love you. You're the best. Glassdoor Gamer says, seeing WWE do a lot of stuff AEW is criticized for, but people letting it slide. Feel bad for AEW overall. The product is good, but under a microscope.
I agree, but I also think the reason people aren't letting it slide with AEW is because AEW came out the gate telling you they were going to be something different. And so I think that's where some of the criticism has come from. Again, if you look at the way Full Gear ended with a very divisive main event angle that some people very much hated, and then when you look at what the other company just ended their pay-per-view with, it's night and day. And so I think it's fair to criticize that.
No, I agree with 100% what Phil said. In the essence of, you guys said you're going to be alternative, you're going to be different. You started off real hot. And I think now that the rose-colored glasses are coming off, we're like, listen, we like you because you make professional wrestling as a whole better. But knock it off. Knock it off. And we know we do the same thing with WWE, but WWE is going to be like, I'm going to do what I want, and you're still going to watch. So I don't care about your criticism.
I mean, at the end of the day, people are going to watch regardless. People that complain about AEW still watch. So
that's a fact. Some people watch to complain about it.
Yeah,
exactly. Shucky Ducky says, Chicago guy up there with Undertaker bug-eyed guy.
Not the shriek.
Energy is high, man. Energy is high in the city of Chicago, man.
He's up there with the guy who was doing this for me, crying when CM Punk came back.
That was supposed to be Phil, but they had him in the press conference already.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wanted to see Phil crying out there. That would have been amazing.
It definitely felt like if they played anything, like the black and white filter just cut over me watching it from the side in that screen, and it's just like, what's happening here? And it's just like the sad music started playing. I'm like, wait, how did I not get invited? Why am I stuck in here? Let me out! Open the doors.
What's that tweet? What's that tweet you said? He said it's like your mom made you come inside and everybody's lighting fireworks outside.
Yeah, it felt like 4th of July and everybody else is out there watching like these big fireworks displays and they're like, nah, bro, you got to come in here and do your summer school homework, bro. Like, well, wait a minute, why can't I just watch the fireworks? Nah, get in here and do this book report. Like, wait, let me live.
You sound like Squidward looking at SpongeBob and Patrick.
That's how it was.
Yo, straight up. I was sitting and looking at all these reaction videos and I'm just like, yo, I'm not even his fan like that. Like, let me out there, man. No, man.
You don't even like this guy.
You don't even like him.
Wow. Mhm. That is exactly how it was too. It's crazy. Will Chisholm says it's funny how Punk got name dropped in AEW and then 1 hour later he pulled up at Survivor Series.
That's
Yeah,
that Rick Rude shit.
Yeah, that's also funny going from them not even mentioning him that when they did that montage for Money in the Bank. Didn't mention this guy at all, but all week, man, they've been showing all of this man, they've been doing all of these clips, putting all of his matches up on the YouTube, putting all of this stuff up on Instagram. Now he's the topic of all conversation.
It's crazy.
Bro, his merch is still up on AEW.com. So everybody getting their money off for corporate mandate, Punk. Get your money. Get your money.
I'm gonna get my coins on my way out, big bro. I don't care.
I got you for 15 years, buddy. Oh yeah.
Devil Kazuya 27 says only scoops Phil wants is ice cream, all 31 flavors.
I like ice cream. Fuck out of here.
Yeah, man. Look, man. That was another one. I did not get an ice cream bar when he debuted.
Wow.
At United Center.
What a liar!
Phil.
Fake.
I did not get an ice cream bar, man, because I and Nick Hausman were the only two guys sitting sequestered off, looking at Punk's press conference with Tony Khan.
Ridiculous.
Blue collar gangster vlog says, okay guys, if Nick was interested in Punk before he came back to AEW for his last run, do you think Punk got fired on purpose as a big picture plan? Everybody thinks he got fired on purpose, but that's not what happened, you guys.
I don't think people are gonna fuck up their back for that.
I don't think that that's what happened, but I definitely think that they were waiting in the wings in case it happened.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like an ex-boyfriend waiting for your current man to fuck up. Absolutely.
Come on, man.
Absolutely.
It's all right. Come on back.
Listen, I know he bought you a house, he gave you some kids, but do you love him?
Yep. I heard what happened with old boy. Send out that text real quick.
Damn, that's crazy. I'm sorry it didn't work out. You want to catch up sometime?
Hey, I'm gonna be in your city on Saturday.
It's my treat. Your favorite restaurant is Benihana's, right?
Come through, man.
Come through. Pull it
Don't
up.
worry, it's nothing formal. You don't gotta dress up, but if you wear that dress, I like.
You don't even gotta talk to nobody. Just come in your car, come right to the ring, and then go right back to your car. You don't gotta talk to nobody.
We got you your own dressing room. You gotta deal with these scrubs.
Yeah, that was hilarious as well. Him when he cut the promo and he was like, "Yeah, I went backstage and everybody was welcome and it was all hugs. It was like a family reunion." And I was like, "Punk." Everybody was definitely not happy to see you, my guy.
Again, there is cap and there is haberdashery, and this man was out here selling hats. He was sewing top hats, baseball caps. He was capping. I was here for it, but like, be for real. Be for real, bro. Be for real.
There's probably some younger NXT generation styles that were like, but they were the older ones that were like, "Oh, look at this nigga! I cannot believe he out here. I know that ain't who I think it is."
Yeah. Oh,
it's like when your school bully gets fucking kicked out of school and then comes back. It's like, guess who's back? Yeah, they couldn't get rid of me.
Wait, the principal likes the bully now? What the hell have I thought we didn't like him?
The principal sends out a note due to certain legal reasons.
Yeah. Look, man, I saw people also saying that, man, so that's why Kevin Owens got moved to SmackDown off Raw. And I'm like, guys, that happened months ago. Mm-hmm. Well, that happened weeks ago. that was before he signed a contract. I'm sure it had nothing to do with Kevin Owens being moved to SmackDown because, as we see, Punk is going to be on SmackDown next Friday. So,
That was
no,
weeks
I don't
ago,
think that
nigga.
had
I'm
anything to
partying.
do.
Wrestling hours and times go like this. You fight with somebody like this, 2 weeks later, you on another show like that. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Seriously,
Yeah,
things happen.
I don't think
really
they were connected
quickly.
at all.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like he could, the way that they put together that deal in one day, like that's how fast wrestling moves. Like if Triple H didn't like CM Punk a week ago and he likes him today, that's how fast this shit moves.
You
Yeah,
may
that's
not
why I
like
thought-
him, but you like money, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's why I thought it was funny when people were trying to get their gotcha off on Meltzer. Like, you were wrong. You said they said no. Because, yeah, at the time, it was no. If you look at the entirety of Meltzer's report, he said, yeah, it's a no. But usually in these situations, no is usually not forever. It could possibly change. And it changed. So, no, his report was not wrong.
Right.
I feel like, but we should know that, like, as fans in professional wrestling, there are people who say, I will never work with this person ever again in life. 2 months later, they're in a WrestleMania program, or they're in an All-In program, or they're doing Emergence for Impact. Like, you getting worked. you getting lied to. I don't know how else to tell you. You getting worked. You getting worked, bro.
This was what I was thinking when people were talking about how much Seth hates Punk, and I was like, guys, Seth worked with Riddle in the Survivor Series match. He continued to work with him after the SummerSlam, and he publicly said he does not like this guy. This guy talked greasy about his wife. Like, it's all right.
It's wrestling. Relax. Like,
It's wrestling.
It when we tell you it's fake, you call us pieces of crap. But then you act like it's real, and we have to remind. Please relax. Relax. That Philly Phil promo is rent free in my mind.
It's all about bags. It's all about bags.
But it's all about getting that money. It's all about getting that money.
Glassdoor Gamer says, y'all see Triple H bury the Nightmare Factory regarding Jade?
I did not.
So in the press conference, I believe it was Steve. I think it was Steve Fall that asked about Jade, and he asked, "Where has she been? Where is she gonna make like the in-ring debut?" And then he said, "We just want to make sure she's ready, and she hadn't been properly prepared." And he did kind of bury like her preparation over there in AEW, and I'm like, Triple H, the guy that helped train her, his school works for you. Cody is now.
Cody's here.
Cody's here. The two people that had a hand in her training were not just Nightmare Factory, but Bryan Danielson. What are you talking about?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna also go ahead and say this: Triple H doing that, I'm not even that mad, because how many times Cody Rhodes and broke a throne, then took a sledgehammer. So sometimes you gotta get your yucks off too. It ain't free. It ain't free.
Nah, Cresta, Triple H got about 3 or 4 more years of digs to throw out because they've been getting at his ass off rip. Like, no, keep going, Triple H.
I will never forget when Cody came out. And it was a Triple H entrance to the death, and then he took the sledgehammer. I was like, "Oh, that's how you feel." And then you came back to the Fed. I was like, "Oh, they cooking you. You running for that 24/7 title too, bro."
Bro, how crazy is it that he did all of that, and now this guy comes out, and the WWE fan base is singing damn near his entire theme song? Like, it's still hard to process that, man.
It's wrestling, baby. It's nothing matters. Like,
nothing matters.
To quote Simon Miller, stuff just happens. It just happens.
Listen, I saw Bret Hart walk out and hug Shawn Michaels in the middle of the ring when I never thought it was going to happen. I saw CM Punk come back. Like, I saw the Ultimate Warrior. They made a whole ass DVD called The Self-Destruction of the Ultimate Warrior, where they said this was the worst wrestler we ever employed for 2 hours. And then they inducted him in his Hall of Fame, and then he died. The game is
gave him his own award.
He has his own award now. Hired his wife, all kind of stuff. The game is the game.
Yeah, it's wrestling. Like, honestly, I tell people this all the time. How I knew wrestling wasn't serious: when I was younger, Triple H kidnapped Stephanie McMahon, got married to her, still had a job on Monday. Ain't no way. Please.
You missed a part, Cresta. He drugged her. First of
all,
he
drugged her, and it took her to Vegas. And it still had a job. No police. All right, knock it off. Okay,
no police.
How you still got a job? You're not gonna kidnap my kid and then be like to Vince McMahon, "What up?" the next day at work. Ain't no way. There's no.
What's
the
up,
police are
Pops?
there. The police are there.
You just gonna pull up and Steph is just gonna hit the Oprah. It's married now. Like, nah, you can't do that. Like, nah, you can't do that. You can't do that.
Hold on, the feds are on the way. What you mean you's married now?
Shut up, Phil.
Oh, man.
Shut up, Phil. All I can think is, did you tell Harpo's to beat me?
You told Harpo to beat me.
I ain't playing with y'all with this morning. Pedro Tiquin says, thoughts on SRS versus Shaz and McKenzie today. We got into it a little bit, but good luck, Sean Ross Sapp. You about to get dragged, bro.
Good luck.
Listen, Sean Ross Sapp shines the checks, but I think Shaw's about to beat his ass. I'm sorry. I know he signed the checks, but like I feel like this little girl about to give him the meet.
Shaz is about to be fighting for all those internet trolls that be after Sean Ross Sapp, all the people that think he's who he is. She's going to be representing for them.
Listen, if you hate Sean Ross Sapp and you want to spend money to see him get beat up, go ahead. And it's going towards a good cause for NAMI, mental health.
Donate.
Don't you hate him? Don't y'all hate him? Go ahead and donate if you hate him.
Donate to NAMI, man. That is, of course, this is going to a good cause. So
great cause. Amir F says, what's y'all all in 2024 attendance prediction? I'm going between 50 and 60K. They're starting off pretty hot. I think they said they got around 30,000 out the gate.
Yeah, I think they're going to do around the same numbers as last year, if I had to guess.
I don't play those games because I always inflate the numbers. I'm saying 100K.
Play those games.
I tried to do that with Collision. They were like, what do you think the views are going to be? And I keep saying up and like, no, girl, it's going down. So I don't play those games. I'm always going to lie. A million people, Collision in Korea, period.
Cool. Yo.
Hold on a minute.
A million of us mother lovers are gonna go to All In Wembley. That's my answer. Final answer.
They're out of here. Glassdoor Gamer says MJF told no lies. Nostalgia's a drug. PG punked.
Hey man, look man. I think that's the best thing about the MJF feud is that there was some truth to some things, and they got to play out some reality. Again, if we got Punk bringing up that picture of Max being a super fan, Punk gonna bring up the receipts about Rollins as well.
That's fun. I cannot wait. I will say this. I cannot wait for the CM Punk Seth Rollins promos. Oh my God. This is going to be so disrespectful because I know CM Punk got it in him, but Seth Rollins has been a menace between the Prince shirts, them big moon boots, standing in the ring like this for 20 minutes while your opponent is like, yo, I want to fight. I'm sick of this guy. I cannot wait. Especially like, I think of the Matt Riddle promo. He said, hey, Matt, you still there? That's why your wife left you piece of shit.
cook Matt Riddle up real quick, man. Bar him right on up. Didn't even take no time.
Nothing extra. So I can't wait. And
just
I know
matter of
CM
factly
Punk is
barred
gonna
him
be
up.
good. I can't wait. I cannot wait.
As a fan, again, just give me my credit, guys. It's okay. I was sitting in the crowd when the CM Punk chant started during the War Games match, and Rollins did something. He looked around, he looked at the crowd, and he put his hand up, and they started singing his theme song. I'm like, look, man, give my guy his credit, bro. Stop it, man. Like, stop this nonsense, man.
Playing chess.
4D chess at that.
Vasco says CM Punk to take the belts off Roman and become the tribal Punk.
Yeah, I'm laughing. It's not gonna happen, but I'm laughing.
The internet's gonna explode when that happens. Roddy Piper says CM Punk is the James Harden of wrestling industry. Tell me when I'm telling lies.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah.
I don't watch.
Could an argument be made, Phil?
An argument can be made, but James Harden at this point, man, it's just not that guy, man. He ain't that guy. Yeah.
Is James Harden the guy? Is he the guy who says, I'm only here so I don't get fired?
That's Marshawn Lynch.
Oh, well, see?
We got one more super chat, but it's sent to our last thing of the day about the show last night. So I don't know if you want to do humpers before that.
I'm sure we have a lot of humpers because we have not read any of them.
Mm-hmm.
So let me pull those up. Well, let me refresh because I have them up, but I'm sure that this isn't all of them. And you're absolutely right, Pile Driver Finisher. Will is not on this show, but there are some things that I'm never gonna let it go because again I am a Chicagoan and there's a part of the link to CM Punk that this man never lets anything go. And I know so many Chicagoans that are the same way. No, there are certain things he said on this podcast that I will not let him live down, and I'd say that to him in his face. I have said it to him in his face.
I was gonna say I've seen it.
Damn, he said, I don't care how famous you are, you can run the fade, Will Washington.
I don't know if I said that, but he knows how I feel about certain things.
I'm paraphrasing. I've never met the man. He sounds absolutely lovely, but I'm a stir the pot. That's one thing I'm good for, stir the pot.
He knows how I feel. He sent me. Well, I don't know if I can say that publicly. So, act like you didn't hear that part. Let's see. From Ronan Mike, he says, "Happy Grapsody Saturday, everyone. I just wanted to help plug the Pride Style show going down on December 8th. Sonico versus Chris Nasty in Vegas. First match versus hair match. Plus Zoe Dubois versus Papa Jace for the title. It's going to be a great show."
Yes, Vegas.
Yeah. I want to go to Vegas. I don't know for what, but I want to go.
Mm-hmm.
Should come for double or nothing.
When is that?
It's in May.
It's May.
May what? Because my birthday's in May.
It's like Memorial Day.
Yeah.
My birthday's in the beginning. Never mind. I shan't be doing that. No. I do want to go out to Vegas for a show. Like, honestly, going to House of Glory and even going to SmackDown. And I went to, what's that other one that they just did? Arthur Ashe, Grand Slam. Wrestling shows are a lot of fun. Yeah, you miss out on the commentary, but I strongly suggest, like, if you've never gone, go with a crew of your friends and just be obnoxious. It's great. You get to heckle the show, and it's fine. It's fine. Nobody cares.
Absolutely. Let's see. We got a bunch here from Tony P. First, I'm going to do my petty of the week. Then I'm about to go stream of thoughts, ramble, so bear with me. So petty of the week goes to some of y'all fellow Punk fans have issues.
Not too much of my boy Phil.
When it comes to the other Phil. They reenacted Taking My Talent aftermath, saying Lux made Brian fire him. Brian's a traitor and garbage. Conspiracy theories about Sean Report, my fave, and the one that hates AEW but mad he is now in WWE, not in AEW, wishing he was still there. Yeah, the people burning the shirts. You guys got
that's dumb. So they already got your money. What are you doing?
Exactly. They don't care that you're burning the shirt. They have your money, buddy. It's all right.
Don't nobody care that you're burning the shirt.
You know who cares? The environment.
Exactly.
Come on, man. Greenhouse gases are harming us all, man. You're just polluting the air by burning shirts, man. It's wrong. Stream of thoughts time. Seeing Red return and Deep talk about her health. The long lingering health issues with Britt had me thinking about the obvious and untalked about issue with AEW's women's division, which is half of their own fault and half they can't control. The Deep stuff was very interesting. She dropped a video this week where she talked about her struggles with health and how she's now cleared again and she's ready to wrestle again. I'm glad that she's doing better, and put this woman on TV. Let her get some of the matches off.
I agree with that. Especially when it comes to Serena Deeb, I always thought that she would be a perfect fit for BCC. She is a stretcher. She's like, to me, a female Dean Malenko. And I know a lot of people ain't gonna like that. Fight your mama about it. I don't care. I would love to see her and Deonna Purrazzo just give me a 40-minute. I'm stretching each other, and I think that'd be a great match. She would be a perfect fit for someone, especially like a Julia Hart who stayed meddling, or like in different promotion, or Rhea Ripley, someone who stayed meddling, and y'all got that one woman that the men like, I'm not gonna hit her. Serena Deeb will hit you. So
Yeah, I think this story tells the story of why fans should relax
Yeah.
on when they're like, where's this person? Why isn't this person being featured? What's going on? Like sometimes these people are going through some real life stuff that's beyond wrestling. So maybe take a moment to sit back and relax and let things develop before you start asking all these questions. Because sometimes people are really going through it.
Yeah, and then you being mad nosy, and then you'd be even more mad if that wrestler saw your tweet, DM'd you and was like, "Yo, mind your business," and now this person's an asshole. Now, oh my God, this wrestler is the meanest wrestler. No, you doing too much. Luther Vandross doing too much. Like, you're doing too much.
Way too much.
As somebody who be in DM saying, "What's wrong with you?" Yes.
I'm not that guy. Don't DM me. It'll stay in my, do you want to respond to this message? I'll laugh. Don't do it. Don't do it to me.
Sometimes some of them get through and I'm like, you know what, motherfucker?
Yeah, nah. Just in case, there are a lot of people that send me very positive DMs about the show and people that are actually cool. If you sent me a positive request and I didn't respond, it's because there are so many terrible ones in there that I don't text my message requests anymore because it's just too many people sending me crazy stuff, man.
I can't imagine what y'all's look like because y'all been doing this for a while. I mean, mine is a lot of beef, so I don't even look in there. I don't even look in there. I don't even look in there.
More from Tony P says, we've been seeing the same women, and I want to see different women on TV, but I wonder how many are really injured or have other priorities / problems we don't know about. I didn't know how bad things were with Yuka until a couple months ago. Yeah, Yuka did have the head injury. That was reported. That was during her time over in Japan, so that was out there. But yeah, that does go into, sometimes we just don't know. We didn't know how bad Red's issues was. The issues with D was having even Abby was saying they were 100% until recently. They weren't 100% until recently, and reasons for doing mostly indie bookings for now. Then the last time we seen Riho, Cornette fans were harassing her. Megan and Stardom getting reps. Taya has a lot of her own projects, and Sheeta was spotty for a time because she had her own obligations that were backed up because of lockdown, and she requested not to be on TV until she improved her acting and English more. It made me realize again that the division is kind of spread thin. Hell, they just recently added Diamante and Kiera officially to the roster and lost Jade and Bunny. Yeah, there's a lot there. I just think sometimes we just don't know. We just don't know. So I think people got to stop doing a lot of assuming. But that's asking a lot of wrestling fans, of course, to not assume because that's what a lot of fans do.
So we do. We jump to conclusions. What are you talking about?
Yeah, that's what it is. It also says you have ROH women like Renegades, Trish, Rachel, Layla Gray, etc., who may or not be part-timers, talented women who could easily get signed to WWE, which also happens with the Twins. So for 2024, in my opinion, TK should focus on current free agents and hiring more women for AEW permanently. You got Will before 2024, and if a Drew, Sammy, or New Day want in, it will be a luxury at this point. That sounds insane. New Day not wrestling for AEW. I mean for WWE.
That sounds crazy.
I cannot picture that at all. I could possibly see like Drew somewhere else maybe, but like New Day, that sounds wild.
And Sheamus this week they've been talking about. I can see Sheamus.
Yeah. I can see Sheamus in AEW. I could see some matches with him. I could even see like maybe Alpha Academy Chad Gable. Maybe New Day, absolutely not.
New Day, no, I can't see it.
Yeah, New Day.
Maybe one or two people from New Day, but definitely not Kofi. I tell you that, definitely not Kofi.
Doing that.
Yeah, I think Kofi's probably rounding up his career. So I don't see him going on like this big run somewhere else for like the next 2 or 3 years or something like that.
So yeah, I can maybe see Woods doing it at minimum.
Maybe
that's like
Big
the only
E.
one.
I could maybe see E wanting to do a meat match with someone like a Hobbs. I could see him campaigning for that. Maybe
he is a big fan.
Yeah, do one or two off like a big meaty men match. I could see that happening. Like Woods also was in Impact. I could see him, but Kofi gonna be like, I'm putting my feet up. I don't know about y'all. They maybe have a Jamaican accent. I'm taking this money. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't know. anything is possible, I suppose, but
Also,
I,
yeah.
I just don't see it. We don't know what Monet is doing, but TK needs to go all out. Julia seems to want to stay. I think you meant in Japan and do more international shows. So I would do another will move. If Becky is open minded, then you go all out. Make 24 the year of women, will and swerve. Yeah, I agree. I think that they are kind of overdue for a big women's signing. I think, as wild as it sounds, in recent memory, their biggest signing for the women's division is probably Soraya.
Hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think they're overdue for a big female signing.
They need a big game changing person, and Mercedes is that person. I think there's some other ones that could potentially do that, but like I think beyond that, we'd have to get like I don't know, man. There's like feels like everybody wants to be over there in WWE at this moment, like a big star woman. So it's going to be interesting to see how next year the free agents and the people's contract expiring end up. Because, like, what if Becky gets out of her contract and ends up in AEW? That's a huge get. Like, that's a big star. So it's like, I don't know. There's some things.
I'm
Yeah.
just going to go ahead and say, as someone who's an avid fan of women's wrestling, if I'm a women's wrestler, no shade, I don't want to wait till 9:20 every week to go out and wrestle at AEW. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. I don't want to wait. I don't want to wait and have one match and then maybe an extra segment of Tony being, "Oh, I can't deal with this. Get away." That's not a problem. I'm sports entertained, but only one women's match at 9:20, 9:18, or 9:25. There's no reason why I should be able to call that out. Conversely, if I go to the Fed, I'm going to have to fight Thanos Charlotte. And that's kind of not fair. No matter how much of a good run I'm on, if Charlotte's like, I want to be champion, she's going to be champion. I'm back on my Impact bullshit. I don't care. I wish people would watch Impact so Impact can get a better deal. Because if you're a woman wrestler and you want to have good competition, bro, I cannot stress enough, watch Impact Wrestling. You want to actually wrestle abroad? Go to Impact. You want to get paid? Go to AEW or WWE. I don't know what you're going to do over there. You might, if you're lucky, you might get a storyline or you'll go on at 9:20. That's no shade. That's just facts. Like,
I saw that story this week that said Impact offered every dime that they have in their life, including Disney dollars, to Will Ospreay to try to get him to come. And would you take Disney dollars? And he was like, Disney dollars? You guys better quit calling my phone with this bullshit.
Yo.
They said, we'll change the name of the network to the Will Ospreay Network. He's like, look,
Yeah,
that ain't enough, dog.
It sounded like they were ready to throw some money Punk's way as well, but
this is just crazy when I was like, yo, CM Punk should go to Impact. Hear me, I know he's not going to do that, but he would be Scott D'Amore's like co-champ, and they would give everybody's
company. But yeah, they can't afford that.
No, they can't afford him.
When somebody was like, what if Mercedes goes there? I'm like, dude, she will, if they even call her phone, she will get her phone turned off.
Stop!
Just because they know her phone number. Like, that's how.
Not you quoting the Beyonce song. I'm going to change my number so I can't move.
Who is this? How'd you get this number?
Hello, this is Scott Dummer. Hello. Did she hang up? Hello? You fucked up. Like,
shout out to Impact, though. I love Impact. Cresta, I love them.
I love Impact to death, but I can say, Trinity, call your friend. Call your friend.
Hey, put in a little word for us.
Put in a word for us. Is this the right number? I tried this one. I didn't get through.
This one bounced back. The one you gave me, huh? But maybe I wrote it down wrong.
Trinity in the group chat. These motherfuckers is still trying to call you, girl.
Listen, girl, they told me to ask you again. Are you gonna come? Yes or no?
I can get you front row tickets.
You gonna come to see? I'm coming to see you, Russell. Yeah, I'm coming to do that. That's about it.
Yeah, I'll be at the show, but not at the show. But shout out to Trinity out of all of this because they have been talking about this. She has been doing amazing out there in Impact. It looks like she's having what I love about pro wrestling. It looks like she's having so much fun beyond everything. Like she's improved her game. She's the champ. But beyond that, it just looks like she's having such a great time.
And she's getting really good matches out of multiple women. Her being a submission specialist, I would have never That wasn't on my bingo card, but it's nice
Y'all
seeing someone
y'all had
not
Trinity
wrestling.
fucked up.
Yeah.
saying.
WWE really had me thinking all she did was butt bombs, and that was it.
Right. Yep.
Yeah, y'all had her fucked up. Put some respect on her.
My fault, sis.
Thanks, Tony P. As always, appreciate you, bro. I think I got all of his. Yeah, I got all of them. Appreciate you, bro. From Pizarro Big L, he says, "Hey fellas, I see both sides of the Punk issue. The sellout talk and the hypocrite has traction, but fans should be able to enjoy this run as long as they want, trying to dunk." As long as they aren't trying to dunk on AEW. Seth may turn into Tyler Black again if he truly hates Punk that much. Yeah, I get people that feel a way about him going back, but I also totally understand him looking around like, yeah, I'm about to get this money.
Yeah. What you want from me?
Yeah.
What you want me to do?
I'm
I'm sorry.
It'd be a nice
I'm back.
program. I'm not gonna hold you, but like, you can be mad about it, but I trust and believe. We all three of us talking crap right now, but if they say, yo, you want $100,000 to go shuck and jive on WWE, guess where all three of us is gonna be? The New Day. Like, you better stop. You better stop. You better stop.
Us as the New Day is crazy as hell.
Y'all would get y'all into so many fights because I'm not fighting nobody.
Yeah,
I'm Jeff Jarrett and I'm up the ramp.
I see it. But yeah, if they think he went over there and didn't get a giant bag and is like, at minimum, like he's rich. So
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. Get your
Listen,
money.
I'm telling you, I seen what time it is, man. He drove in there with that G-Wagon that he probably bought with some Tony Khan money and was like, look, I'm about to get me a different bag. Like, what's
yeah, my old thing got this truck for me. What y'all gonna get for me?
What you think this is, bro? Like, I'm about to get this bag. Like, I respect it in some ways, man.
I'm here to make money, bro. Corporate money Punk. I don't give a fuck.
And if y'all think that's not going to be a WWE shop shirt, and by this Monday, you got another thing coming, big dog.
You see how quickly they got, I'm feeling Uzi out. Knock it off.
That new Randy Orton one is trash, though. Like, we need to, it just says RKO right here and then Daddy's Home on the back. I'm like, all right.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the tan joint that they put out. When he came out with the tan, I was like, oh, he's really back. He's doing the babyface thing. It's not like a black hoodie anymore. He's got like the tan joint with the Viper on there.
They put out another one that says Daddy's Home on the back, and I'm like,
I'd get that for Rhea Ripley, but also I can't talk shit. I got the Will Hobbs shirt that says Big Black and Jacked. So
you got that?
Oh yeah, I wait for it to come in the middle. I'm gonna be a menace.
And I said, bro, this shirt is wild. And he's like, we going up. So shout out to Hobbs and his new shirt. I hope y'all got one too.
All the way up, buddy.
So annoying on Collision. The moment I get that shirt, that's all I'm wearing. Don't argue with me in the comments.
Big Black and Jack. It's true though, and that little saying's getting over. I see more people are liking it. Last week on Collision, he did it, and people were like, "Big Black and Jack." Soon enough, that's gonna be the shit. We on our way, man. Come on, man. I can't wear that shirt though because I'm only one of those things.
But yo, I'm 5'7", but in my mind, I'm 6'5". I'm 300 solid, and I'm a linebacker. Stop playing. He hates.
Oh, it's in the brain. I didn't know it was like a mental thing.
Nah, man, get your lies off, bro.
Get your lies off.
It can be lies.
You already got your hat on. Put your cap on.
Come on, man. See, from Ronan Mike, he says, I don't want to bring him up, but even Tennis Racket Man said he wasn't feeling that Raw promo. It's funny to see all the fans.
Tennis Racket Man?
You don't want to know.
Okay, word.
It was funny to see all the fans in the comments who use his verbiage to attack AEW now going after him. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, again, I understand why people felt like the promo was underwhelming, especially the way that it was presented, and you had to wait 3 hours for it. Like, bro. If you go to a restaurant and you had to wait 2 hours for them to bring you some food that's cold and it don't taste that great, yeah, you can be like, what is this? Like get this out of here.
The cold food.
But it still is edible food, though. That's what they're saying.
I mean, it wasn't cold. It was edible. It was
edible.
Food.
It was lukewarm.
But it's still food. It's like your favorite food, but it's like not at the peak, performance. Okay. But it's still your favorite food.
Yeah, and I think the thing with Punk, as we saw,
hot and ready, always.
It's pizza. But you
I'm
know,
ready.
Like
could be
Matt
better.
Cardona, always ready, hot and ready.
So, but I think the thing though, the thing we saw with Punk, even with AEW, like that initial promo is fine, but he's always better when he's focused and he has like opponents and the promo is
Yeah.
pointed. Like
Right.
like once he gets in the feuds and he has like some actual like people to talk to and play off of, they're gonna get better.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think this is going to be forever. Like I said, it's CM Punk.
Yeah.
He's one of the best ever. Like he's really smart. Like he knows he's on the internet way more than people think, and like he knows like he's seen everything that we said, and is going to turn it into something. Like it's not just like that one promo, and that's what we're going to get for the rest
Yeah, I
of the
mean,
time.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the other part is why I also thought it was a ploy when they said, "Oh, he's gonna tell us why he's here." Like he can't tell you why he's here. He's not. There's no satisfactory. There's no satisfactory answer he can give to people of him coming back after trashing this company for all of 7 years. 2 more once he came back with AEW and was throwing some shots. Like, no, there's no satisfactory answer that he can give in a WWE ring for him being back there.
That
I
won't
got
get him
fired over there.
That won't get him fired because he could go up there and be like, I did this, mink somebody up, and now I'm here to get my money. Fuck y'all. But
Yeah.
y'all don't want to hear that. Y'all want to hear that? You want to hear that?
That's what they wish could
No, he
happen, but
can't say
there's
nothing
like
like that.
stuff in place. Like not only can he not say that, like he can't say that.
But also, too, people think that they want to say, but if he came out there and literally like on some, I don't give a and really did that, people would still be mad. The point I'm trying to make is no matter what he said, nobody was going to be here for it. Because like you said, you spent the better part of 7 years. This is a dumb company. I hate this place. And now daddy's home.
It's crazy.
Yeah, you can't. That's what I'm saying. There was no good way to really address the crowd other than doing the pandering. You can come out there and give anybody a satisfactory answer for coming back.
He said,
especially people.
Daddy's home. I'm like, look, you need to stay off the extra residencies, brother. Like, daddy is not home, dude.
And if anything, Rhea Ripley's daddy. Knock it off.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, even outside of AEW stuff, like I said, there's nothing he could say about like some of the stuff he's criticized WWE for, and him still signing back. There's nothing.
Yeah.
There's nothing he could say that would be like a real justification for people that are like, nah, you're sellout. There's nothing he could say that would change those people's minds.
No way. Anybody's gonna think how they think. I would have respected if he would have came out as a heel and said, "I did it for the bag."
God damn it, I did it.
This is all about money.
Honestly, I would. JBL, I'd pop. Like when JBL came back as the guy who was like, I do stocks. Like you were just getting drunk in the back with Farouk. What are you talking about?
Yep, nope, I'm smart now.
Punk coming out and turning full heel and doing the promo like homeboy from the bowling. Like, who do you think you are? Me, that's who. Give me the bag.
Who do you think you are? I am.
It could have happened. I would have respected it, but no, I respect this. I understand.
I would have died laughing. Like you said, there's nothing if you already had in your mind that CM Punk, or even if you had in your mind Cody going back to WWE makes him a sellout, there was nothing. He literally could have said, yeah, I sold out. I'm getting this money. And y'all still would have been like, yo, he's a sellout. I can't believe they made him cut that promo.
Right.
Yeah, he
exactly.
sucks.
Yeah, you knew it was coming. So last one from Bizarro Big L. He says, if AEW wants to capitalize on their current momentum, you think they need to stop taking shots and making comparisons? They look better when they don't play games. Cresta playing chaotic neutral to Nigel's chaotic evil today. I love this purple. I love this purple hat Danhausen. It's wrestling. They're gonna take shots. I just think that this year they've had some of the most negative buzz I've ever seen from them, and I just think they got to focus on their company and just moving forward. And I think for me, watching the Punk stuff, I was kind of relieved that he's just kind of like, yeah, I'm moving on. Like I've changed, I've moved on. Like whether that's true or not, I do think that's the right move. I don't think it's I don't think it's best for him to go over there and still be talking about like the Bucks or like any of that Jack stuff. Like, I just move on, man. Like,
because
you're
if
not
we're
there
not
anymore.
gonna get a
It's
match
over.
off of it, it doesn't make sense. Like if it's not leading to something, I don't need to hear it. Like if you're gonna go
Yeah.
up there and trash everybody, then like for what? Like the resolution to you trashing someone in a promo is me seeing you fight that person in a promo. So we're moving on. I want to see you talk about Seth Rollins and Gunther and Roman Reigns, not the Young Bucks.
I mean, and I mean, my biggest takeaway also watching it was like, bro, this is just not. People want the Monday Night Wars. This is not the Monday Night Wars anymore. Because if this was still that time, they would have sent him straight out there, guns a-blazing, to say what he wanted about AEW. But it's
and
just
Triple H would have
been
been in the ring with him if this was the Monday Night War. Like that's how the game used to be, but it ain't like that no more.
Yeah, it's just not the same time.
I don't think that we need to have like something like that happen, period, though. Like more competition makes better wrestling all across the board. I think like on a fundamental level, it's cool that Punk can go from AEW making a lot of money back to Federation and vice versa, where Jade can go from AEW and these person go to WWE. I like that idea that these people can get paid. You're putting your bodies on the line for my sports entertainment. I appreciate you. All this extra stuff, man, I will always go back to that Jeff Jarrett comparison. People love to say Jeff Jarrett knew a dime, but that man hasn't missed a direct deposit since 1987. Say what you want. Say what you want, bro.
Ain't missed a meal. Ain't missed a single meal.
Double J.
That is all our humper chats for now.
We got a few super chats that came in real quick before we move forward. Will Chisholm also says, very generous super chats. Thank you, Will Chisholm. What was Vince's reaction when he pulled up to the Survivor Series show? If only Triple H and Nick Khan got Punk, Vince really would be mad if Mercedes pulled up. He's going to call Triple H saying, what the hell are y'all doing? Yeah, like everybody that he's like, I fired all these people. Why are they still here? Are all there now?
That's true. That's true. Triple H said, y'all bringing all my friends back. Fuck you, Dad. The boys are back in town. I felt that way when old boy brought back in DY. I was like, oh, the boys are back in town. You don't care. You don't care.
Nah. Gargano and Ciampa need to come out with that now. Just hit the. Come on, bro. Get
the boys are back.
We back.
Everyone Vince has ever find that got brought back a Triple H should all just take a photo. Like,
oh man,
we back.
We back. You can't get rid of me. I'm a roach, baby.
Tyrone Kidd says, back to these people who go hard on people lying. You know who lying about retiring? Flair. Oh, you think he's the only one? Terry Funk too. Rest in peace. Yeah, wrestlers, like the first rule of wrestling. I've been to wrestling school. First rule, lie. That's what they like. As soon as you walk in the door, they're like, how good are you at lying? And they're like, I've seen it before, and somebody be like, I don't know if I can do that. Oh, you gotta go, bro. Like the first rule of this thing is, can you lie and how good can you lie? The best liars are the best champions.
I'm 47,000 years old, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, get them lies off, bro. It's all right.
Yep. Smiley BWR, shout out to Tracy, our friend, says, afternoon, black folks. Just wanted to stop by and say hi. I just watched your boss, Sean, do the wrestles here in Chicago. Cresta, I love you. And hi, Reggie. Thanks,
Damn,
Tracy.
just hi,
Appreciate
Reggie.
You. Yeah, see, that's how I'm done out here.
It's the bit, man.
Come on.
Just
hi.
And then I heard Sean got thrown through a table, man.
Oh, Sean got his ass beat.
Yo, I heard Sean in the chat. They were like, "Yo, he got put through a door or something." I'm like, damn.
Wow.
Hope he can still sign them checks because I gotta get paid. Still sign them checks. I hope you're right.
I need my direct deposit to hit. Will Chisholm says, when Seth and Punk at WrestleMania happens, Seth needs to dress like the Young Bucks. LOL.
Listen, man. he already had like that leather jacket with the fur on it. He's just gotta get the boots with like the tassels all over it. He's got as soon as his music hits at the beginning, he's got to stop at the middle, at the top of the ramp and hit the flexes. Like, come on, man.
I want Becky to come out and be the other side.
I can see his music starting off, and then them scratch freezing, and then a dun, 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 dun. Yo, he coming out with the boots, with the tassels. Yo, he's gonna yuck it up. He's gonna yuck it up.
Bro, I'm telling you, bro. if
He
he
gonna come out
comes
like
out,
Jungle Boy.
if he comes out in Philly and hits that flex, and then like money rains down on him, listen, bro, we're out of here, bro.
Please play these petty games, you guys. We need it.
I mean, but Seth is honestly, look at the way Seth's dressed. That man's a troll. Good style. Don't get me wrong. I would wear it, but you trolling, and you know you trolling. When he came out in those red boots, I'm like, yo, why you look like goofy olive oil? I swear to God, I can't stand you.
Yeah. That picture of this week also of him and Jey Uso hitting Drew with the super kick together, hysterical. The frame that it frees that with them both primed up for the kick, it just looks hilarious to me.
Shout out to Jey Uso, was all super over also still.
Super.
Just yelling yeet, yeet.
Jeez Louise.
Yeet.
When this song, I'm like, this it's just me, Uso, so dumb still, but people really like this shit.
It's going stupid out there though. Come on.
It's going crazy out there.
Bro,
What's
I already
stupid?
knew what time it was when Sammy said he's just not feeling Uzi, and they started selling Uzi shirts. Oh, there's nothing this Uzi thing that they can't do. I'm so Uzi. You know, there's nothing they can't do. There's nothing they can't do. I respect it. Get your money.
Can't believe you brought Iggy to our podcast. It's crazy outside.
I make jokes.
Yeah,
I'm here for
man.
jokes. Y'all brought me to this podcast. I said, let
Listen,
me in.
man.
I'm in with my bonnet on.
Listen,
Right.
Iggy back on TV too, man. Iggy back on
Oh,
NXT.
she
Yeah,
is.
top of
She
this.
cooking. Hey. And our last super chat for now is because we have to move on from that. Deontay Swaya says, also, please go support Ashe. Is that how you say it?
Ashe.
Ashe. Go support Ashe. Thank you, Darius Lockhart. Great show that happened last night in the North Carolina area. Insanely great build up. Everything kind of surrounding it. Darius Lockhart did so much press leading into this that very excited around the energy just with that show.
Yeah, it was a good show. The only one here that watched it. Did you guys watch it?
Yeah, I don't. I was on
Yeah.
Story last night. I'm sorry.
I'm watching it today.
No, it was a good show. I agree. Very good energy going around it. Opened it with a guy that was on our podcast that we're both high on, and frontman Ja.
Yes.
Started with a heater, him versus Kevin Knight. Kevin Knight picked
Kevin
up
Knight
the
is
win.
We've
Kevin
interviewed
Knight
him
was
too.
Yeah, Kevin Knight was talking that talk afterwards. That was dope. Then we got Kiera Hogan versus Charity King. I thought this was a good match for Charity King. She came out of this looking really, really good. Kiera is very underrated. I say all the time. And Kiera cheated to get the win. But
Cheat to win.
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you got it. Sometimes you got to cheat, man. It's all right.
She's really good though.
Which, speaking of, that Jeezy clip that came out this week is crazy. And we got the talk from his ex-wife. Now they're saying that, he cheated. I'm like, but he just told Nia Long that he don't do that.
Yes,
All
I
right.
would tell Nia Long that too. Phil, have you seen Nia Long?
Hey, man, listen.
I have heard once
Again,
or
get your
twice
lies
in my
off. That
life.
is the theme of this episode.
I'm
Get your lies
saying.
off, bro.
Nia Long sitting in front of me. Nah, shit. She had
I
me
have heard
heartbroken,
once or
bro.
twice in my life that black men don't cheat. So,
Come on, man. Get your lies off, man.
get your lights off.
You know?
It's all right. We got Darius Lockhart. He came out and addressed the crowd at one point. Darius is one of those guys. He just has that aura. And he was interrupted as he was getting ready to set up the match with Billie Dixon, who we was also interviewed. He got interrupted by other Darius Carter. Darius Carter came out and cut the heel promo. He mentioned his history with Billie Dixon because, of course, they have like a ongoing feud across several independent promotions, including Billie's own promotions. And turns out in February at the next Ashe event, it will be Darius Lockhart versus Darius Carter, which I'm assuming will be the main event. That is the big
D-Rock versus DC, baby.
Yeah, that is the big news coming out of the show, that Darius Lockhart will be wrestling again. Darius Carter called him second Darius now because he's taking over that title while he was away. He's the new hottest Darius.
Damn.
I'm here for all the smoke. I'm here for all of the talk, man. That match sounds like it's going to be fire. We got some great tag team wrestling. We got the Infantry taking on TME. It was a great match.
Wow.
I thought Infantry looked great. They end up picking up the win here. Carly Bravo is one of them guys. I just feel like, man, somebody's got to sign this dude. What is the hold up? Well, I guess he is technically he signed with AEW, but
Yeah.
get this guy on TV more. Like, come on, man, just get to it, man. We also got Jonathan Gresham taking on Darius Carter in a technical wrestling match. It was amazing.
That sounds good.
Started slow, but it just got better and better. Listen, I am a Gresham guy. I've said constantly that this guy is one of the best technical wrestlers in the world. He was phenomenal in this. Darius Carter also was phenomenal in this. Did all of the great heel work. He ended up cheating to get the win. Darius Lockhart ended up coming out trying to help out at one point, but it wasn't enough because Darius rolled up my guy and held the tights on the way. It got this W over Jonathan Gresham, leading into the match, as I said, next year at February. Darius Lockhart versus Darius Carter. We also got a big 8-man match. We got Team Atlanta taking on Team South Carolina. In South Carolina, energy was definitely there. Team Atlanta came out with the energy, but really the story of this match was just how into this Team South Carolina was. They came out with all of the matching gear. They had the Hornets, black and gold and teal colors. They came out swag surfing. It was that kind of move. Team South Carolina came out, picked up the win. And the main event, historic main event, we got Aja Kong versus Trish Adora. Man, if you would have told me coming into this year we were going to get Aja Kong wrestling Trish Adora in a main event of an indie show, I would have just been like, where? How is that possible?
Yeah.
Where? Like, I don't even want to hear that. Where?
Right. Where's
you're
that?
Lying. You're lying.
Yeah.
Where is that, first of all? Where's that?
How is this possible? But really good match. For most of the match, Trish was fighting from underneath. Aja was taking the fight to her, hitting her with stiff shots, hitting her with big power moves. But Trish came back with a pretty good comeback. She got this awesome German suplex in at one point. She narrowly got this win, but she ended up getting hit with the spinning back fist towards the end. And Aja Khan was your winner. Really fun show. I believe you can still catch the stream on Ashe's website. There's a link somewhere at the top that says Watch Ashe. You can go in there and buy the link to the pay-per-view. I believe that's still up, but man, support guys like Darius that are trying to bring the culture and trying to do something different. Not just trying to go, I want to be the black wrestler at this indie promotion, or I want to try and, play their game and make it up the ranks. I want to try and build our own thing. It needs to be more of that. And he also, gave money to a good cause as well. So he put his money where his mouth is. It wasn't just like, I'm putting on a show and this is just for me. It just seems like in so many ways he was trying to give back to the culture by putting this show on. And that was very commendable. It was really cool to see so many people linked to the culture, people that we know and love linked to this. Swole was host of it. She was out there serious time. We saw Gerard, and Gerard has been like a broadcast guy for Battle Slam a lot. He was also here doing like the backstage interviews. I saw like some of the media and just seeing how media was treated. I thought it was great. Even the presentation around it was a little bit different. It wasn't like the usual indie shows. Like, I like it for a first show. This is very, very promising. Hopefully, he keeps going with this.
As someone who creates a list, this is the BW 500 was inspired by this type of thing. This featured about 100% of talent that have been featured on the BW 500, so it's kind of fitting. But like the reason that I started doing that list is because I wanted stuff like this to happen. I was like, there's a whole bunch of people that aren't signed to contracts, that aren't featured on American television, that aren't in the spotlight, that should be. There's incredibly talented black wrestlers that are different than just the dancing or the gangster or the whatever you want to do with them. There's a million of them, and this show shows exactly like that. The presentation around it, the way that all the wrestlers are different, the vibe is just the way that it should be. I love everything about this, and I'm so happy that it's not a one-off and that it's going to continue and that more people are going to be involved. This is dope.
I definitely want to watch it. Just hearing you, it sounds like it was a cookout with a wrestling show. That's what it sounds like.
For sure. It definitely had that energy. It was just, it's good energy around the show. It was good seeing a lot of people tweeting about it last night. Like you said, glad it's continuing, getting a show during Black History Month next year in February. It's dope.
Might have to pull up.
I'm assuming it's in South Carolina. Definitely want to pull up to an Ashe show eventually.
Fuck, man, I don't want to go below the Mason-Dixon.
I know. I feel you. As a Californian, anytime they announce stuff like that, I'm like, I don't know.
Oh, no, man. I don't know. Because it's cool at the event.
Yeah, straight up. Straight up. Can I be like Punk? Can I pull up in my G-Wagon, go right in for the show, come right back out, and leave back home?
I mean, maybe, but the moment you go outside to get food, like, what you gonna get? The chicken?
No.
Shout out to my southern viewers, but I don't know. Like, anytime someone's like, you want to go to South Carolina, Mr. Like below the Mason-Dixon? I don't know.
We have one more super chat. MD Spooko says Seth did dress in polka dots and the shield. Yeet. I don't know what that means.
Yeah,
maybe a Dusty reference.
This is not beneath him to do that, so I can very much see him doing it. And yeah, if anybody does something like that, I could see him doing it.
Okay, work. That's my answer. Work.
That's all of our super chats. Thanks everybody for submitting. Thanks for the humper chats. Thanks everybody for participating. As always, y'all are really cool. There were some very lucrative ones in there today, so appreciate it.
Very lucrative ones. We got one more humper chat. We're gonna get into the last topic. You can't build the women's division. Sorry, from Bizarro Big L. He says you can't build the women's division if you don't give them the time. They need a few stars and solid hands to bolster up the roster. Loves Hop's new shirt. Like Reg, I'm not those things. Doesn't work if a woman asks if I was black. No haberdashery. Tall JoJo, white boy. Yeah,
he said
I don't
it doesn't
know,
work
man.
if she. I don't think she's gonna ask if she sees you.
I don't know, man. I don't know. It might.
Fine line, brother.
You might end up getting. You might end up getting the Atlanta joint, man. Like, wait a minute, you are white. You are white.
It's
on the one
outside.
hand, I laugh, but on the other hand, you gotta be a tough motherfucker to not be black to wear that.
Straight up.
Like if Eminem wore that, I'm going to question him. He might battle rap me, and then I gotta shoot him.
If you see a white guy walking down the street with a big black and Jack shirt, you'll be like, "What?"
Yeah, nah. Might
and if he's none of those things, he's got a gun. I don't care.
Yeah.
You got a gun. If you are none of those things, you got a gun. Nope.
Nah,
nope.
Man. Yeah, nah. might cause some confusion. But on the subject of the women's division, we got a pretty big culmination of a storyline this week on Ring of Honor with
Finally.
Athena and Billie Starks. It's really cool to be in the building when this happened because they filmed it after the Dynamite in Chicago. So I was there when it happened. And the reaction to it in the arena was really, really good, which is promising. I feel like it's the best storyline on Ring of Honor at the moment, possibly the best women's storyline that's come out of any AEW or ROH program in a while. Yeah. So yeah, I'm hyped for this story. Of course, is coming out of the tag match. Athena and Billie Stark took on Ronda Rousey and Marina Shafir.
Oh my gosh, she's there now.
Ronda.
She's not there.
She's not there. She made an appearance.
She made an appearance in that match based off of the indie match that was that same weekend in LA. So out of the tag match, they lost that match, and of course Athena blamed it on Billie Stark, and she was like, "I don't understand you. Like you win your singles match, but every time we get into tag matches, we lose. What's going on with you?" So got to get it done tonight and put her in a match with Marina Shafir. Billie beat Marina, of course, and then did a sneak attack afterwards, beat her down a little bit. And afterwards, Athena came out with the caps and gowns and the diplomas, and it looked like she was finally going to give Billie her recognition. She came out and she gave both her and Lexi Nair their cap and gowns, and she was like, "This is it. This is from the MIT, prestigious MIT. I want to, give Lexi what she deserves, and she made Lexi her valedictorian, which Billie was not feeling at all. She was not feeling this at all. Gave Lexi her entire acknowledgement, gave Lexi a diploma, let Lexi tell a acceptance speech and everything. Lexi Nair. She has now been promoted to Minion Bestie, not a number, Minion Bestie, which all credit to Lexi Nair. While Athena was cutting that promo on Eddie, Lexi was getting them ad-libs off, bro. She was great hype woman during the whole thing. Lexi has been tremendous throughout the storyline as well. I think she's been a great part of it. And she played this off really well as well when she got it and she was trying to give her speech, and the Chicago crowd was not having it. They were booing her. At one point, the Chicago crowd started a ketchup and mustard chant because because Billie and Lexi had on yellow and red gowns.
That's crazy.
And so when Lexi won, there started "We Want Mustard" chant, and of course that ties to Chicago lore as well because Chicago hot dogs do not have ketchup on it; they have mustard on it. So the Chicago crowd chanted, "We want mustard" throughout this for Billie, and afterwards, Billie got in Athena's face and basically was like, "What's going on? I'm ready. Give me my shot." And Athena wasn't trying to hear nothing of it. We thought it was over. But Billie was not having it. Threw her against the guardrail, beat her down a little bit, picked up the belt.
Yep.
Athena versus Billie Starkz will be the match.
Final
battle that was officially announced after the segment as well. Very excited for that. I fully believe that match should main event based off the fact that Athena has been the most present champion.
Agreed.
This has been the storyline they've been building for the longest. They've been building this story for a few months, since summer at least. And the great thing about this is, if you haven't been following any of this and you have no idea what I'm talking about, AEW put up a big timeline thing on YouTube where you can watch 3 hours
the whole thing
of Athena and Billie content, so you can get caught up on the entire storyline. And I think that says a lot. That says a lot about how much trust they put in these women and how invested they've been in this storyline.
You could watch Raw, you could watch that.
Yeah, exactly. I think initially, coming into this year, Athena has done so many different things. There's been different points of the year where I thought different people might beat her. Thought Willow was set up for a little bit. I thought maybe Layla Hirsch could be the one. Trish Adora had a little bit of run from there. But they've been slowly building this Billie Starkz story for a long time on the show, giving Billie Starkz wins, building up her stock. It's been great because when she does go to the main roster, she's already had a full one of the best stories that they've told in the company and all this stuff before she even gets to the main roster. So it's great. She's been Athena has been playing 2 different roles where she's like the vicious person in the match, but then she's also doing these comedy style skits with Billie Starkz, which I think is great for her character and great for her in the future. This is pretty big. I think that I'm more interested to see what happens with Athena post this, because we've talked about wanting to see her on the main roster. And is this going to lead to that? I hope it does. But this is a good build up to a potential win for Billie Starkz with the story that they told. I liked all of it. The match with Marina, that was probably my favorite Marina Shafir match, actually, because I love the contrast of her and Billie Starkz. Really picked up there at the end. And for a part of it, the crowd wasn't super into it, but by the end, they were all in. So, yeah, great work.
Yeah,
I'm actually was surprised that Athena didn't beat Jade when Jade had the TBS title.
Right.
So I'm really happy that she has this run. And everything I know about the Billie Starkz Athena situation, I know from just the crossover between Reg and Kate coming over into the Impact show. So I'm really happy for the both of them. I want to see what Billie Starkz does. Honestly, if Billie Starkz does take it off of Athena, which low-key I kind of expect, Athena then needs to be your AEW Women's Champion.
Eventually.
Sorry.
I agree.
I mean, I'm trying to think who's the Women's Champion now. Is it
Toni Storm?
It's Toni Storm.
Oh, yeah, she just won it. She just won it from Hikaru Shida. I'm not a Hikaru Shida fan. She's a great wrestler. For me, it just doesn't do
man.
it. So
Might have to cut the stream, man.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna have to cut that part out for like the other stream.
That's slander.
It's not. It's not saying. I just said it's not for me. I didn't say my true feelings. I just said she's a great wrestler. It's not for me. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. But again, I'm surprised that Athena didn't take it off of Jade then. So if they do move her up to the main roster, I'm gonna need her to actually like be women's champion for real. Because she does such a good job. Athena's so underrated. She was underrated in the fat. If I get disconnected, this fat cat is sitting on my keyboard. Like I liked her in WWE. I thought they did Ember Moon dirty. I liked her
That's
on
a wild
AEW.
sentence. If they just take out that part out, this fat cat is sitting on this keyboard. It's a wild sentence. I just want to say. Keep going.
I'll let y'all see.
An actual cat, you guys.
An actual cat. But no, like I feel like she's such underrated. Okay. Not Cresta canceled.
I want to end this show off the rails, you guys.
It'd be like that. It'd be like that sometimes.
But I thought this was very good. For as much as we've criticized Ring of Honor on here sometimes, I think that they've done a really good job with this storyline from start to finish. They've done a really good job with Athena's title run. And like I said, being in the building for this and seeing the culmination of it and seeing that the crowd was really into it, I thought that this got the best reaction out of any of the ROH stuff they taped that night. And I think that's reason to be optimistic about this. I think that's reason to feel like this should be the main event, and that should be like a fitting into Athena's title reign if Billie does beat her. And I do think Billie should beat her. I think that based off the storyline, and I feel like ROH kind of needs a reset in terms of champions. I think Billie makes sense if you're trying to build up like a new generation of ROH stars. She's young. She's very talented. I think that that's the right move.
Her versus someone like a Sky Blue or a Mariah May, even a Julia Hart. I would love to see those women mix it. Because like you said, they're young, they're up and coming. For all intents and purposes, well, Mariah May, not so much. And even Billie Starkz, kind of not so much. These aren't homegrown talents, but they're young enough and they just got here enough that if you build them up, people, I'm not saying they'll forget Mariah May's time in New Japan Stardom, but like you've got something great here. Same thing with Billie Starkz. I totally forgot what she was doing before this. I just remember people like, that girl is only 16. She didn't even graduate high school yet. And she's so good. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, a lot of indie stuff, GCW and some of the other stuff before that. But yeah, man, very, very happy for both Billie Starkz and Athena that this got over well. And that AEW seems to be invested in making this the main storyline going in the final battle. Yeah, very happy for them in that. And I do think that bodes well for Athena possibly leaving and coming back to Dynamite or Collision and being a big part of the women's division again.
Right.
Oh, yeah. Because I think Athena versus Jamie Hayter, when she's eventually good enough to wrestle, well, like well enough, that's going to slap. That's going to slap. I wish that they had did more with Saraya in the sense of like, we could work around the injuries. I don't want to hear it. Jeff Jarrett and Kara Jarrett go out there. Sting is out here taking bumps. I don't want to hear it. We could work around it, and I think we could do more with it. Because I do think that there's a program there for Athena and Saraya. Like, I do think that there is something, like, even if it's not comedy, that there is something there. Yo, bro, what do you want? Sorry. But I'm like, there's something there. So I would love to see Athena, like, no shade to Jade, but her losing to Jade was crazy to me. Like, that don't even make sense. I get it. She's a cheater. Jade is a cheater. But then she went to Ring of Honor and tore it up. I think it's time for Athena to do her triumphant return to AEW main roster, if that's what we're calling it, and beat some of these broads up. Beat some of these broads up. And I know you can do it, so.
Yeah, I think it's a shame that she did not get her rematch against Jade. I think that would have been a big storyline, especially if Jade ended up winning the main title and for Athena to come back from ROH after all that time and then get the big match at a pay-per-view. I feel like that could have been really good. It's a big missed opportunity, but...
Yeah, Jade not winning the main title, the way y'all built her up after that, like, at some point, that was shenanigans. That's what that was.
Yeah. But it is what it is. Like I said, I'm really happy for everybody involved in this.
Yeah.
I'm happy that it seems like that. Again, I said during the PWI period for the women the reason why Athena should have been higher is what she's done for Ring of Honor, and just how historic that it's a woman that's doing it. Because contrary to popular belief, there wasn't any of this before in Ring of Honor. There was no
Right.
there was no women's world championship for a long time, and there was no situation where the women were like the main focus of the show. Athena has been the main focus
Yep.
of ROH for this entire year, and I think she got to get her flowers for that, man. She is the main reason why I tune in to watch the show, to see what she's doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel like she deserves, like, I don't want to say a reward, but like something for doing all that. We got the great matches with Willow, the main events. Like, she's earned the moniker. She's carried that brand so hard that like she has to be rewarded for it.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
I'm still standing on it. It's December. I'm still standing on Athena is Women's Wrestler of the Year. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care what the PWI says. She is Women's Wrestler of the Year, and I think this feud and everything going on kind of proves it.
Yeah, no, Athena's been good. Like I said, she's always been good. It's good that she's getting her shine, but I think now when I think of Athena, I think it's synonymous with Ring of Honor, straight up.
Right.
Yeah. Don't think we have any more humper chats, but I'll refresh.
No supers either.
Super chat.
Well, if we don't have any more humper chats, we don't have any more super chats. I think that is it for us. This has been fun as always. Appreciate you guys coming through, taking part in the chat, sending in your super chats and your humper chats. Appreciate Cresta for coming in very last minute. Of course, tell them where they can find you if they want more Cresta.
Ladies and gentlemen, later on tonight, I'm pulling double duty. I will be live with Iridian. I'm not sure if Rick is going to be there, but it might definitely be a 2-woman power trip. We're going to go over everything with Collision. Thursdays, you can also find me here on Fightful, covering all things Impact with Joel Pearl. Mondays and Wednesdays, you can find me on TikTok and Twitch at Cresta Star. We watch wrestling together, and it's looking like Fridays to just do indie show stuff. So if you see me in the street, keep it cool, because I will Juju Katami you. But say hi.
I thought
all of that was a lot. What?
I thought you were gonna make a Ti joke. I thought you was gonna be like, nah. Don't walk up to me talking about you standing on business. I will choke you like homeboy. Like, chill out, man. Like,
you might have seen me in the streets. You don't know me.
You don't know me. Listen, I'm cool, but I'm never that cool. I'm from the Bronx. I'm cool, but I'm never that cool, bro. Anyway, if that was a lot, Cresta the Star. There's a link tree in my bio. You can follow me there. Also, thank you guys for letting me just pulling up here with my bond. I literally rolled out of bed and saw Grapsody. I was like, we talk about CM Punk. I too have feelings.
Yeah, man. Of course. The funny thing about this, you were saying you're going to do the Collision stuff with Iridian. I had actually talked to Iridian about doing an episode with us this weekend, but couldn't pull that through. So, we ended up getting somebody from the Collision team,
What you doing tonight, Phil? Philly Phil?
Hey, man. Colliders colliding, baby.
Colliders colliding, man. But yeah, as always, I appreciate you guys. Appreciate Cresta. This has been Grapsody as always. We'll be back next weekend at noon, same time period. This has been Phil Lindsay, Righteous Reg. We are out.